Simpsons Index, an online spreadsheet that is also a podcast. This is the podcast. Coming at you from the dank in Newtown, this is the Simpsons Index, Treehouse of Horror-thon 2. Woo!
Oh, wait, sorry. Oh,
yeah, he'll dub that in later.
yeah.
And I am your host, Elliot J. O'Neill. And it's Mayoween, guys, so we're celebrating with an all Treehouse of Horror episode. And joining me in the dank this spooky week to do this is...
Oh, shit. Jordan. Me. It's Jordan.
Sheridan never has an interesting introduction, Morley.
And finally...
You'll have to speak up. I'm wearing a towel.
So Jordan, Sheridan, and BT, as you long-time listeners might remember, how you guys going?
I am superior in all aspects.
Oh, Beej, you delightfully heartless robot, you.
Beep.
I feel much better for eating that whole jar of mayo in celebration of Mayoween.
It was a feat to watch. It was
Yeah.
delightful.
It took a while, but I got there.
So, for any of you wondering what the fuck Mayoween is, well, we've stolen the idea from the Worst Episode Ever podcast to do a Treehouse of Horror episode in the month of May. And the other thing about Mayoween is we'll not be doing a classic episode tonight.
Boo!
I know, but the reason for this is that, you know, back in the first
Of course,
days...
you suck.
Well, no, it's actually not because I suck, because... Well, kind of.
Other people suck.
Other people suck. Back in the early days of the podcast, I used to let guests pick the episodes, and I never
What a horrible mistake that was.
Yeah.
only in this sense, because it was just, I never really wanted to tie podcast episodes to, you know, real world holidays, Easter, Mother's Day, Love Day, whatever.
Guy Fawkes Day.
So in episode 3 and 6, we reviewed Treehouse of Horrors 5 and 7 respectively. I realized this was a mistake because Treehouse of Horror episodes, they just fundamentally work differently to your standard Simpsons episode. And Treehouse of Horror has become like its own series within The Simpsons. A lot of people I found that have given up on The Simpsons still go back to watch Treehouse of Horrors, am I right?
I think so, yeah, absolutely. Because it's just, it doesn't need to relate to anything else. It's 3 short vignettes and that's it. Like, they could just have fun with it.
No, and it doesn't matter if the integrity's there or not. It's fucking Treehouse of Horror, whatever. So anyway, being that I realized that back in the early days, I decided to save Treehouse of Horrors for twice a year when we'll just do 2 all Treehouse of Horror podcasts. But the problem is, between those early episodes and the last Treehouse of Horror, we've already burnt through 3 classic era Treehouse of Horrors, and there's only 8 to begin with, so we need to carve up a few from the later era. So,
Damn you.
although 2 of the episodes tonight will be coming from the teens era, they will all be from 3 different decades.
Cool.
All right. Got through all that
Got through
housekeeping.
your press release.
All right, and so starting out tonight, we watched Treehouse of Horror 24, Season 25, Episode 2, first released October of 2013. Guys, what did you think?
Boo!
Here is the sound of air escaping my lungs.
I was going to say MTV generation. Meh.
Yeah,
That's fair.
basically.
Yeah, and an interesting tidbit about this episode, this is actually one that me and BT already did, kind of, for our unaired pilot, which will remain unaired.
Yeah. We were so drunk.
We or
Mostly
you?
me.
Okay, all right.
But, like, if you divide the drunk between the 2 of us, we were both very drunk.
If you average it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you say before, did you say tidbit or titbit? Which do you say?
I think it's Titbit.
It's not.
It's either, apparently. There's a
Really?
it's a dialectical thing, apparently.
No!
Really?
Terrible.
All I've known is I've smoked a million cigarettes. You've not once looked at my tits.
Yes.
Again,
Work it in.
For those
every
who missed
weekend.
before, I'm just going to say that repeatedly so remember the damn title.
Elliot thinks that that's the translation of every French song in history.
Especially Edith Piaf's.
Smoked a million cigarettes and you have never once looked at my tits.
In that kind of rhythm, cigarettes and tits kind of rhyme. So, yeah.
Cigarettes?
Cigarettes and tits.
So anyway, this Treehouse of Horror, we'll go through each of the segments, but the intro is like a segment unto itself. This is actually a kind of famous Guillermo... Someone help me out here.
Guillermo del Toro.
Directed intro sequence that's fucking amazing.
You've
Yeah.
seen it on YouTube, kids, and if you hasn't, you can see it on YouTube now.
Like, what are some of the highlights from that for you guys? Like,
There's just a bajillion reference to horror
Yeah,
movies
absolutely.
throughout,
Yeah.
like from the classic to a little more modern stuff, and Guillermo's own works. You get a little bit of Devil's Backbone, a little bit of Blade 2, a little bit of Hellboy, a little bit of everything, and then you get your classic Frankenstein, Invisible Man, werewolf.
Yeah.
Dracula. But you also get a nod to a lot of famous horror writers and authors.
There's H.P. Lovecraft there and Edgar Allan Poe.
Yeah.
Alfred Hitchcock.
Yep.
I didn't recognize Stephen King. Yeah,
Stephen King at the chalkboard gag.
Yeah.
But the thing that I liked about it, a lot of the couch gags that we complain about are the ones that just sort of are long-winded, meandering. But this one really tied in a lot of great horror to almost like exactly the Simpsons intro as it is.
Yeah, and the thing is, I think it kept moving. Like, it kept doing something new every single time it changed, point of reference. It would always get to, something else for you to look at. Whereas the ones like the Hobbit one sticks out in my mind. It just goes on and on. It's just the same thing the whole way through. Whereas this, you're like, if you know these references, you're really excited. You're trying to pick them all up. And if you're not, you're like, how are they going to change, Marge in the grocery store scene?
Yeah.
Or how are they going to change this? And
I think that was the thing as well. Like, some intro sequences, they deviate from the standard template and they add more stuff, which isn't really good sometimes.
Yeah.
But this one, it was still the new HD era thing. Like, it's like a minute and a half or something, but it's the full sequence, but it is completely changed. But they don't add stuff just for the sake of, hey, we've got a famous director doing this, so why not just add random crap in here for no reason. They still just follow the template. So I like that.
It made sense. There was even some not quite horror references, but more just mystical.
Yeah, there's a bit of Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah, Alice in Wonderland specifically, I was thinking of.
Well, yeah, absolutely. This is probably the best part of the episode, to tell you the truth.
Yep.
This is amazing, and it is on YouTube.
And just crazy dense. It's amazing.
Yep. So the first segment tonight was the Places You'll Do. It's like a Cat in the Hat parody, all done in the Seussian style.
Soycian.
Soycian, that's right.
I've told, I know.
Correction.
But yeah, all the cartoon was very reminiscent of Dr. Seuss, and all done in that rhyming style. What'd you think of that segment?
You know what? I liked the animation of it. I liked how they adapted the style of it. And the little, those classic, like boxing gloves on extendo things and everything that they added. And
the contraptions,
Yeah, absolutely. And I like the way that they adapted the universe to suit it. Just the story, that was going to be my complaint. Like, we had this huge tribute to horror in the intro. The rest of the episode, none of them were really kind of
horrific.
In the sense of, like, you watch previous Treehouses, and it is like a kind of a spooky or a kind of a horror kind of concept. And none of them really were this time.
No, I mean, the only thing is this version, Homer's version of, the Fat in the Hat, is just kind of murderous, but it's more of a, like, murder spree in Grand Theft Auto than it is anything like horror. It's just,
and it didn't quite make sense as to why he turned murderous either.
No, he's just kind of a dick.
Yeah, no, that's right.
And I'm not, like, familiar with Cat in the Hat. That wasn't my Seuss book as a kid. Like, how close is that to the source material?
Well, they leave the house, so not at all.
One of the common threads with the later Treehouse of Horrors is that they don't really go for the horror movie so much. They'll do things like fantasy, Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, whatever. Yeah. And this is another one where it's like, we've got a Treehouse of Horror spooky episode coming up. Let's do Dr. Seuss?
This is going to be my main criticism of all three, I think. It's just going to be, what if The Simpsons were blank? And then they've just, and then they've done that, but they've not built a story around it. Yeah. So, I mean, it looks really good, and I do like the rhyming they do for it. It flows really nicely, but nothing happens.
On that point, when this first opened up, this first story of the three, I was quite excited because the first line was really snappily done. I thought, and I can't remember the exact line, but it was something like, all the children in Springfield were door-to-dooring, all over town blood sugar was soaring. And I was like, okay, I like it, it's good. And then turns out that was the best line in the whole thing.
No, I got some genuine chuckles out of a couple of the rhymes. And even the one where he beat up Grandpa or whatever, I found that, like, exchange really funny. It's full of a lot of Grandpa old-timeyisms.
Although, we've said it before, but I'll say it again. Simpson men without the facial hair.
Looks really
so strange.
But another thing I didn't like about this, they were obviously doing the whole parallel import thing and, making a bunch of jokes and, look how different we can make the words. It's the Fat in the Hat. It's the borax. Having said that, I did like the whole calling out the borax.
Sell out.
Yeah.
But then also I liked putting it in the recycling instead of the trash as well.
Yeah. Because, it was hideous, a movie about, preserving the environment and whatever, and then it's just making Happy Meal toys.
I know
stupid corporations.
I know Danny.
Corporation.
I know Danny will agree with me. Marge as Catwoman, pretty fucking hot.
Oh,
Just
she's
saying.
so much more banging. Like, she's
Yeah.
so much more hippie than she usually is.
Yeah.
Marge's figure is usually sort of straight up and down and hunched. Like, she needs to see a chiropractor sort of thing.
Yeah.
But in this, bam.
Yeah.
And it's the I think that's the Batman animated series version of Catwoman as well.
Yeah, there was a good sequence of a bunch of Springfield's women and comic book guy dressed up as the various Catwomen.
Yeah. And then, but then the stupid joke of, it's Halloween today, and like,
Yeah.
oh god, I hate you,
He
comic
dressed
book
like
guy.
this all the time, and it's like,
Yeah.
no, he doesn't. We've seen this show before.
Yeah.
I do like they're all variations on. There's like the Halle Berry one and the Michelle Pfeiffer's
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
I'd say they went with a common thread, and Maggie ends up killing the Fat in the Hat at the end.
Yeah, I just think it was weird that Fat in the Hat just breaks Mr. Burns' neck and serves him to a bunch of orphans.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I know he's a bird, but that's a little like the thing is, it's the whole segment is kind of traveling so fast you kind of don't notice its poor quality.
Yeah, correct.
That's right. Even like up to about the Apu sequence, I was like, I think I'm enjoying this, and that was a really good exchange where
Yeah.
it was like, I don't want any trouble. Here's Gum of the Bubble.
Yeah, it was cute.
yeah. Slim of the Gyms and Gum of the Bubble.
Yeah.
The only other thing I liked was at the very end where it says, next time the Fat in the Hat pledges a frat. I'm
Yeah,
like,
I
okay.
quite like that where he was getting paddled.
Yeah, exactly.
I was going to say, it was a bit creepy, actually. There was
Yeah.
a bit where it was the kind of narration talking about the Fat in the Hat, and it was a song about him, and the last line was, you might catch him on an Amber Alert. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's really quite dark. Why?
Yeah, it's kind of like, hi, I'm the Fat in the Hat. I put a bomb somewhere.
No, Amber Alert is kidnapping a child.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right, so if we had to rank just this segment, unofficial rankings, just quick fire, go around, I'd give it a bronze.
Really? Wow. I'm at a participant.
Wow.
I was going to say participant because I like the style, but
I'll give it participant just because, I do like the animation style was on point.
Sure. Cheers.
This is another one where it's better by comparison because I know I'm sort of spoiling my ratings for the next two, but I'm going to go bronze too,
Yeah.
Ooh.
All right.
even though I hated it.
Unofficial rankings, just quick fire opinion of the segments to help us feed our what the ranking should be later.
It was almost a failure because he had a fucking anonymous mask at one point. And I was
that's
just,
right.
I was just like, fuck off. Fuck right off right now. Anyway.
The rhyme was like something about highly unusual political views.
Yeah.
Blows up the Springfield town hall.
So the next segment, I didn't actually catch the name of this one. Did any of you?
I did. Dead and Shoulders.
I
bad.
get it.
Yeah.
Have I told you guys how much I love my new Head and Shoulders shampoo? That's fucking fantastic.
No,
You have
tell
no
us now.
hair.
Is it a beard
He has
shampoo?
beard.
Oh,
Yeah.
beard shampoo.
Beards get
Do you
dandruff.
get beardruff?
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
Yep.
I discovered
Hey,
it.
all skin can get dry, Sheridan.
Right.
Say it again, but go. Head and Shoulders. But you don't have dandruff.
Exactly.
Well, I hope it makes you suitably moist then on your chin and
Chin-
surrounds.
Chin moisture is the hardest moisture to maintain, Sheridan.
Isn't it you just drool a lot?
Yeah, you
It's the
eat
wrong kind of
greasy
moisture.
food and it goes in your beard. And
Are we sponsored by Head and Shoulders? We should be. If
I
we're
know,
not,
that'd be great.
Unilever, hit us up.
yes.
My, I have such dandruff. What could I possibly do? Also, I'm on a podcast a lot.
Elliot, you got dandruff all over your microphone again.
What? Oh,
Maybe Sofia Vergara can come to your house and
I would be on board with that.
yeah, she's the new Head and Shoulders person.
You had
Just-
me at Sofia Vergara comes to my house.
You had me at Sophie Vergara comes. No, I literally bought a bottle of Head and Shoulders that has her picture on it. 'Cause I'm like, well, she may as well see me naked. That's fine.
Yeah, and I'll see her in the shower.
yeah, exactly. I do not understand why she would have taken that job.
No,
She's
it
the
seems
most
weird.
highly paid actor on Modern Family.
Oh,
she
yeah.
gets over $1 million an episode. Why does she need to do Head and Shoulders
Head and
commercials?
Shoulders have sweet money.
Yeah, they got deep pockets.
No, but that's the thing. They're like, we'll give you $10 million. They're like, sure, why not?
Yeah, why not?
You know what I like? $10 million.
Yeah.
This is going to be a great deal.
Hey, I don't mind $10 million either.
Would you flog cock-flavored condoms for $10 million?
Maybe for $100 million.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I'd do it for $1 million.
I'd receive a cock-flavored condom for $10 million.
Yeah.
Was it
You'd
some-
receive,
Where?
as in, yeah.
Someone just give you one? That's not hard.
Where's
I'd
the
star in
delivery
a
point?
porno that featured cock-flavored condoms.
Nice.
Right,
and you have to
wow.
look up halfway through and go, cock-flavored condoms.
I'm enjoying one right now.
You're wearing a condom, but this just tastes like cock.
Exactly.
Look up and go, "Horror condom."
Subtitled.
Yeah.
You won't.
You won't even know it's not a cock.
So anyway, Dead and Shoulders. So this is the classic head gets sewn onto another person's body trope
Yeah.
that the Simpsons have
Have
kind of
already
done.
Yeah,
Twice.
that was kind of my first note on this one. It's like this was already done as like an afterthought of a joke in a previous Halloween episode. So the fact they're trying to flesh an entire segment out of what was just a little, like a rim shot at the end of a different Halloween episode was just like,
Yeah.
you're out of ideas, guys. I know.
Well, this one actually kind of reminded me of the old Treehouse of Horror. Remember one where Bart has all the mystical powers and he turns Homer into a jack-in-the-box?
Quite
Yeah.
a-
Yes.
I felt like they were going for this is a horrific thing, but we're going for some heart moments. We're going for some bonding. And I thought there was actually a couple of sweet Bart and Lisa moments in
And
this.
then it cocks it up.
And then it
By
cocks it up a
making,
lot.
yeah, Bart kind of go just selfish for no reason.
Yeah, that was my other big problem with it. So, okay, so Bart's flying a kite for like days on end, wraps a kite string around his neck so he can take a nap, and then the kite pulls too hard because the plane flies in it or something and it pulls his head. It's just
Arnie Pie.
the most boring way you could possibly find to decapitate Bart ever.
Yeah, it was lazy, and I liked as the days moving on, the little montage with Milhouse as he, sniffs a flower, gets infected, gets picked up by the paramedics. I thought that was a good sequence of joke, but then
But yeah, why the fuck is Bart flying a kite this much? Like, that doesn't make sense. That's out of character.
no, there were much easier ways to get his head cut off.
And funnier.
So this thing cuts his head off, and then he gets his head attached to Lisa, but she can still control the body. And then after a couple of days, everything's fine. And it's like, oh, okay. Thought that would cause more conflict, but whatever.
Yeah, and like they reach a resolution, and then Bart gets control of Lisa's body when she sleeps, and then that goes into Bart.
Basically trying to kill Lisa.
Yeah, and it's not done for any reason. Like they were just starting to get along.
Yeah, it's like if he was having a miserable time, it would make way more sense. Have them get along was just like, oh, okay, this is done now. We've wasted all the comedy effort, and now we're just gonna go to a different place now.
We don't know where to go, so let's just add conflict that isn't there.
The delete key has fallen off my laptop, and this is what I've written, so we can't change any of it.
Can someone explain one of the jokes to me?
Sure.
He was like in the therapy office, and they're like, "Can you think of something good to say about each other?" And how clean are Lisa's ears? And Bart goes, "Yeah, it's like a Canadian tunnel."
I think Canadians are known for their fastidious upkeep of tunnels.
Really?
I have literally no idea.
Yeah, have you ever been in Canada and had trouble getting through a tunnel?
You could eat off their tunnels.
I don't know if I've ever been in a Canadian tunnel. I mean, unless that's a euphemism.
Yeah, is this a euphemism? Am I missing something?
Oh no! I'm being genuine. The road system and infrastructure of Canada is top notch.
Well, that's boring.
Let's stand now and sing the Canadian national anthem.
How does it go again?
Oh, Canada, we have clean tunnels.
Fuck yeah.
Sometimes we like to ski.
Sorry. Well, another joke I liked in here is Homer's man cave. I thought that was funny.
Yeah.
But mostly because I've just got a massive criticism against man cave. First of all, man cave, the word it sounds like a butthole. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
come down. Like, if anyone
Come
ever
in
says
my
to
man
you, yeah,
cave.
come in my man cave. That's what my brother has said to me once.
I'm sure that's in a porno.
What? Why did your brother say that to you?
Because he has a man cave and he doesn't get that it sounds like a butthole.
Specifically a man's butthole.
Well, as long as you're using a cock-flavored condom, that's fine.
Yeah.
Let's be safe about
Do you have
this.
taste buds in your butthole?
You
Do
don't?
you?
But yeah, anyway, I just hate it because it's
That would
like...
suck every time you had to poop.
You get used to it.
But it's become this expression and trend amongst men to have a room that's dedicated to having a He-Man, no woman-haters club.
Yeah, it's weird. What was wrong with the traditional den?
Yeah.
The den.
The other
May
thing is,
God have mercy on us all.
why is it like, I don't want to sound like I read a lot of Tumblr or anything.
Here we go.
But why is it a man cave? Like, why can't it just be like a fun room, like a rec room?
Or a dank.
For recreation.
Like, Because he had a chocolate fountain in there. I'm sure a woman would love a fucking chocolate fountain.
And a horseradish fountain.
Oh, yeah. Is that why you were thinking about horseradish before?
Yeah.
Whoever it was?
No, that was me.
Oh, yeah. Is that why you were thinking of it?
No.
Okay.
I just think about horseradish. I'm pretty sure I
All
said
the
that
time.
prior to the episode.
Oh,
so.
maybe.
So one of the big jokes that I hated was Miss Hoover putting the globe between Bart and Lisa and them like having this weird lick fight with the globe.
Yeah.
And then Ralph goes, "Oh, that was my project." So lame.
The joke I did like, though, was the Skinner Agnes
Yes.
bit.
Yeah.
With like you know how to drive just as well as you know how to blah, blah, blah. It's like, I'll just go change the thing. And then just like crawls down beside the car and starts rocking. It's like, oh, a panic attack.
Yeah.
Like,
I'll give you something to panic about.
yeah.
You start a car as well as you start a family.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
And I did like Homer thinking Bart was doing mix-ins with the sleeping drugs and
yeah.
yogurt.
Napian has been there before. I was trying to remember where.
Yeah, it's one of Simpsons' famous drugs, along with Ignoritol.
You're at all. And Napian, as I recall, has some terrible side effects.
Yeah, I
Don't
think
they
they're
all?
going for like an Ambien parody. Yeah.
Anyway, in the end, they both get their heads cut off, and Bart gets his attached to Selma or Patty, I can't tell, and
I think
Lisa gets
it's
hers
Selma.
attached to Krusty. Why? I don't know. Shut up. It's over.
Yeah, where was the other twin?
Yeah, they had two quick jokes. Now I can do karaoke. Hey, Lisa, now you have to memorize stuff. Waka waka. And then Dr. Nit's on Hibbert, and it's like, why?
Yeah.
It wasn't funny anyway.
I don't know why those two agreed. Like, I would have thought it was going to be like Marge and Homer.
Or at least Patty and Selma.
Yeah.
You know, that would have been slightly more
Krusty.
logical.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, so I kind of liked the concept, though, even though it's sort of pre-trod ground. It's
You could have
like-
done something with it, but they didn't.
They
And that's-
really didn't.
And that's why I hate this one.
Oh, can I just do a really quick Jordan corner? When Homer strangles Bart while he's on Lisa and the head comes off and he puts the gum on
Yeah.
and he goes, oh, and it's backwards.
And then
he twists the neck
which makes it
and the
crack.
bones
Yeah.
crack, but the bones aren't connected.
Yeah, I thought of that.
So annoying. Anyway.
Oh, I thought of it as like they were sliding up against each other. or
That's a
something.
different sound.
Yeah. Bones cracking is more of
Yeah, I don't know
snapping
who
celery.
you're sliding up against.
Also, how could the airplane pilots hear them or like shout out to them as well? Like, you damn kids.
Wizard did it.
Lean out the window and yell.
Yeah. Okay.
So if you had to rank that segment, what would you rank it?
Failure.
Failure.
I would rag on it.
Ooh.
I'd give it a
Failure.
participant because it had a couple of good bits. That's it. Freaks, No Geeks. The final in the Treehouse of Horror segments, where basically Mr. Burns has a circus and Homer's marrying Marge, but
Marguerite.
Mo has a ring and Homer wants the ring, so encourages
Marge to marry Homer so he can murder Mo, and
And then they get
No.
the ring.
So
Get the
she
money.
she marries Mo, and then he'll kill Mo, so then he can get. Oh God, I fall
get the
asleep.
ring, and then he can buy a jalopy.
Yeah,
I will say off the bat, this one looks great. It's got like a nice
Does.
kind of desaturated sepia
Yeah.
tone
Yeah.
to it.
It looks like a
Or
Gears of
sepia.
War game. There's lots of brown.
And that's about the only thing good about it.
yeah. There's a lot of visual homages to the movie Freaks from like the 30s or 40s or something. So yeah, look, I don't know that I liked any material out of this section.
The only bit I liked was the see the clown. Is like, guys, I really think we should do something about this Hitler guy.
I also like in the background, there's a joke of see the spineless man, and it's Principal Skinner.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I liked Homer's song too. This is a song that you hear at the circus, sung by a guy that you see at the circus.
Although, yeah, one joke that really got on my nerves was so they do that stupid karaoke joke at the end of the last segment. And it's like,
Oh yeah.
and now beware the dreaded callback, and it just has that stupid song again. It's like,
Mark.
it's like you
Yeah.
know this is a bad bit, and you're just doing it again because
Doing it anyway.
fuck you, watchers. Yeah,
Like, it's not. It doesn't make you more clever for doing it. We just hate you a little
yeah,
bit
because
more.
we now know you that you know. At least before you had the deniability of saying, at least you thought it was funny.
An unfortunate tradition of New Simpsons to stick jokes up their own arse.
No, that wasn't my least favorite joke, though. My least favorite was the one that you saw coming from 10 million miles away, which was when Barney, who's the human torso, is making a cookies or whatever. It's like, oh, you're like a human snail. And you, comic book guy is a human snail. He goes, I resent the implication that human snails are slow. And then
Good
goes,
day.
Yeah.
It's so dumb.
Yeah.
And just crawls away
And
slowly.
you kind of feel like the writer's like, get it? Because snails are slow?
Yeah.
Die.
And it's not a
Yeah,
reference
pretty
to anything. Like, there was no human snails in freak shows. What the fuck?
There is, if you read Uzumaki, which is like a manga by Junji Ito, which is all about spirals.
Are you speaking words?
Yeah.
I don't understand any of those.
I know you may not like manga, but this is really super creepy, and it's all about a town that gets taken over by spirals, and there's a bit with snail people.
Right, taken over by spirals.
Spirals. It's weird. There's a bit where a woman's face disappears into a spiral into her own head, and her eyeball goes down the drain of her face. It's weird as fuck.
That is very weird.
It's really cool, but yeah.
I'm just saying, I feel like I could take a spiral in a fight, so...
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, it's not the most intimidating. Yeah.
So what else did I hate about this section? I hate how Homer explained his stupidly convoluted, stupid plan, and then goes, this plan is so elegant in its simplicity.
Yeah.
Again, shoving joke up own ass.
I had a JAC, which was, why would Mr. Burns basically show the audience the entire show for free? They don't need to pay money
Come
now.
see this thing I'm about to show you.
Yeah.
I will say, there is a great Burnsian line where they're having the wedding dinner between Mo and Marguerite. And, you know, they all do their freak thing. That's that movie, whatever. And then,
Goober gabber, goober gabber.
And then Mr. Burns is sitting there and goes, why are work dinners always so weird?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a decent line.
Mm-hmm. Well, everything Mr. Burns is fantastic.
And the only other line I kind of liked, which I wrote down at the wedding party, and Homer's like, yes, a very short life or time together. And Mo says, well, a wedding is no place to worry about threats from the bride's former lover.
Yes.
I thought that was good.
That was okay.
I do like, when he's explaining to Marge, I think you should marry Mo. He's going to die soon. She's like, oh, really? What of? He's like, I don't know. I haven't figured that out yet. That was okay. I like that.
Yeah. But, I mean, overall, like, they're scraping the bottom of the barrel, this section.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was overwhelming. It was mostly boring, this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least the other ones had a bit of momentum to them. This one just dragged.
Weirdly enough, I think I like this one most of all of them.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah.
I
Well-
probably like the Soyce one best.
Yeah, probably more from a visual reference, and at least, even though it had a convoluted, stupid plot, at least it had a plot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
You know, at least something was happening. There was a beginning, middle, and an end, rather than here are things that happened, waka waka at the end.
Yeah, but then in the end, it just turns into a How I Met Your Mother parody. And I smiled, but inside I was thinking, oh, Simpsons, fuck you.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
It was pretty bad.
Yeah.
Also because they're in modern times now, and that was, they mentioned the 30s. They said, like, that it was the 30s in the thing. So how old were they supposed to be in this? Like, that's how I met your mother.
Well, I mean, that's part of the joke, and I guess that's part of it that makes me smile, but, like, yeah, I still can't help but say, fuck you.
Yeah.
Even though I kind of found it amusing.
I didn't.
You're entitled to your opinion.
All right. It is time for the spooky questionnaire.
Oh god, I'm intimidated now.
Questionnaire about my boobs.
No, I've never once looked at them.
I have smoked a million cigarettes and not once have you looked at my boobs.
The Sheridan Morley story.
Part 2.
Part 2. I'm really looking forward to part 3. I'm assuming it's a trilogy now.
Yeah.
Has to be.
I don't want to force anything, but you know.
We'll get to it when it comes up hilariously.
Exactly.
Play count. How many times do you think you've seen this Treehouse of Horror?
Big fat duck egg.
Ditto.
Once sober, once really fucked up, and now.
Yeah, I've seen it 3 times. Once on my own accord, once for the unaired pilot episode, and once now, and hopefully it'll be the last. Did this feel like a Treehouse of Horror?
Not really, if you ask me.
No.
No, the intro sequence did.
Yeah, the intro sequence was bang on.
Absolutely. Yeah, because, I mean, I appreciate they're kind of running out of horror tropes to run with.
Yeah.
So obviously they don't want to expand out into Harry Potter, yada, 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 whatever else. But just the fact that, okay, fine, that's your setup, but then do something with it, and then...
You know, I think I could disagree with that. Maybe they're running out of tropes, but they could just make it parodies of recent kind of horror films even, and there's plenty of new concepts. Like, I mean, I know maybe horror isn't like at its peak, but there's still things that they could use. I mean,
Sharknado.
Hey, there you go.
Wasn't It Follows came out about this time? Like things like that. There would have been indie or other kind of horror movies.
I don't know how the Simpsons are going to incorporate a monster that fucks people to death.
I was disappointed by the complete lack of horror
Yeah.
Not even any gore, really. Like
No
Bart's
gore.
head and Lisa's head gets chopped off multiple times.
Yeah,
Yep.
apart from
It's very
maybe the
clean.
Burns chicken being chopped up, that was the
That was more
goriest thing that
uncomfortably
happened.
weird, not really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. All the Fat in the Hat murdering stuff was uncomfortably weird.
Yeah.
And
Killing and skinning Mo. Yeah.
Yeah. I was also disappointed by the lack of Kang and Kodos, even
Yep.
though they
oh
appeared
my god,
once.
I didn't even realize that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're the best part about Treehouse of Horror, honestly.
And they were scared of the dark.
Yeah, I know.
How cute.
Yeah.
So we don't ask wackiness and heart in this one because that doesn't really count, I guess. But did it work as a horror?
No.
I feel like this is the same point as before. I think we've all agreed. Not on this one.
How did it work as parody?
Terribly. Look, I won't be that slack. The Fat in the Hat,
Yeah, visually,
Yeah.
rhythmically, sure.
yeah, I suppose in that sense it was a successful parody. It just wasn't very good.
No, it just overall wasn't gut-bustingly funny.
No, or funny at all.
Which Treehouse of Horrors should be? Funny or scary?
Yeah, ideally both, but this was neither.
All right, so yes or no, would you watch this episode again?
Please, God, no.
I really have no need to watch it again.
Yeah, I got no motivation.
No.
Unless it's to, like, talk to the writers from American Horror Story and go, did you just rip off this entire episode? Because they have someone with 2 heads and they have a freak show and it's in the same season. I think they did. You have a lot to answer for your shitty show that I hate watch.
Did you Google on The Simpsons and X?
No, I did, yeah. So it definitely came out after this.
Okay.
All right.
Because that was 2015. This came out, what was it?
2013.
Yeah. So this definitely,
that's
definitely
awkward.
came after. Yep.
So let's rank this thing
Agreed.
in a spooky manner.
Agreed.
So on the Simpsons Index, we rank using our 6-point scale, which starts down the bottom at failure. Or maybe if the episode was meh, you give it a participant, and the good rankings bronze, silver, gold. But for the best of the very best episodes, we call cubic zirconias. And I'm going to go first. Let me show you how it's done. I am giving this a participant. It might have been a bronze had of... one, the last segment been stronger, and the material from the first 2 been stronger, but overall I can only give it a participant.
If it had been better, it would have got a better rank.
Yep. Very much.
Essentially.
It's the truest thing in the world, yeah.
All right.
BT, take it away.
I'm also participating in this one because I didn't, there was nothing to get upset or angry or annoyed at. It's just kind of,
Yep.
And then your life is gone and you're a little bit older. And that's the true horror.
Yeah. You're
The horrors
never,
of aging.
Yeah. Behold. Yeah.
The
No.
ravages of age.
Crow's
You
feet.
have never been as old as you are
Yeah.
right now.
I know. But don't worry, I'll be older later.
The only thing that can defeat me is oil of Olay.
I knew you had a weakness somewhere.
Sheridan, what would you like to rank it?
Patisophilia.
You can't do that.
Says who? I just did. Failure.
All right. Why?
Because to me it wasn't a Treehouse of Horror.
That's fair.
And that's what we're ranking this based on. So,
Oh, that's a good.
fail.
Point.
Yep, fair enough. J. Fro?
It wasn't so awful that I'm like, I hate it so much. I just, ugh. So I'm going to give it, in a spooky manner, participants all over me.
Participants in your eyes, Johnson?
Participants in my eyes, Johnson. There's so many. I don't know if this is a good price or not.
I hope this microwave is all right.
I have to be clear. When I say failure, I don't mean me screaming about Lady Gaga for half an hour failure, but it's still a failure.
Oh,
No,
that's
sure. There are, shades within the rankings.
There are
Yeah.
a lot of reasons you can fail something. I know, generally speaking, I say if it's boring, I just give it a participant. Sometimes it is so boring, I get angry.
Exactly. Well, I like the
And,
point that you just made, Elliot, which is basically it wasn't scary and it wasn't funny. It has to be one or the other or both, and
Yeah.
it was none. So that's why I'm failing it.
Yep. Jordan, anything else you'd like to say about the episode?
it just wasn't offensive enough for me to kind of just tip it over into failure.
Sure.
It was just a kind of a move on. And
Yeah.
then
Yep. All right, cool. Well, that does it with our HD Treehouse of Horror tonight. And now we are going back to Season 18 to watch Treehouse of Horror 17.
Nice.
We
are
back! And we just watched Treehouse of Horror 17.
What a
Settle
delight
down.
that was.
That was funny. Season 18, episode 4, first aired in November 2006. Guys, what did you think?
Better.
Yeah,
Much
way
better.
So much better than the last one.
Yeah, actually, that last one probably bumped this one up a whole ranking grade.
Yeah. Thanks, shitty episode.
You're all right, but also you're not.
Yeah.
But it's weird. I never thought I would like a late teens episode as much, but I'm wondering if it's just by comparison.
Yeah, there are some surprises in seasons 18 and 19, I've found. Right after they sort of end production on the movie. Coincidence? I think not.
Oh,
I
and all the
think
good writers
so.
come back or something.
Yeah, because their teams were divided between seasons
Right.
15 and 18. Anyway, I've gone on about that a lot on this podcast.
We have.
Anyway, so going through the 3 segments, at first off there was an intro gag with like a Tales of the Crypt style intro sequence.
Yeah. Looked pretty nice.
That was a well-realized parody.
And you get some good jokes at the end when they close Mo into an Iron Maiden and his blood
Yeah.
leaks out and makes letters. He goes, look at my blood. So smart with the Roman numerals and everything.
My blood's a genius.
Yeah. Great. I liked it.
And I liked all the Mo material and him going, no, the right nipple feels a little dull, and Smithers just smacks it. But I don't really remember the banter between Smithers and Burns. I don't think I liked it.
No, it wasn't
No, he made a...
Master of Scaremonies.
Oh, that's right. And Smithers does you made a pun. So the first segment was Married to the Blob, a parody of The Blob, I believe.
I believe you're right.
Yes. I don't know. It's probably the most middle segment out of this Treehouse of Horror, I thought.
That's probably fair. So a comet crashes in the Simpsons' backyard. Homer eats a mysterious goop from it and becomes blob-like.
Yeah, and it was disgusting him trying to eat the blob and the blob coming out of his face. I thought it looked great.
And
Yeah.
then sucking up all the goo from all the various orifices.
in his face and snorting it back in.
Oh.
It was
boy.
the kind of thing where, because they pushed it 3 times, it got to be funny. If they'd done it
did.
once, it would have annoyed me, but that they pushed it a few times.
It
It
just
actually...
kept getting worse.
Yeah, it
and
was like a
worse.
really kind of almost like a body horror kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
And I
then-
love his line, if I can keep down Arby's, I can keep down this.
Yeah.
Take that, Arby's.
Ouch.
I've never eaten Arby's, but I know of them because of how much they get mocked in.
Oh, and also
Yeah.
just the advertising in America. Every second ad is an Arby's ad.
And it's always
that's right.
and it's always like, at Arby's, we got all the meat, and we put meat on this meat, and then you get the meat, and you eat the meat. You want meat? We got it at Arby's. Arby's, we have the meat.
Yeah, that's
And we
basically
cover
right.
everything with big plastic cheese.
Oh, those were some loose bees.
I know that you were kind of joking, but
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure
No,
one
yeah.
of their tokens is we have the
We
meat.
have the meat.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
We have the meat at the end of the episode.
Literally their slogan.
Yeah. Someone once made a picture of Arby's sandwiches look like vaginas because the
Oh,
roast beef.
wow.
And I've never been able to unsee an Arby's sandwich.
I've never been able to look at a vagina again.
That's a line in a Garfunkel and Oates song.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, they're talking about being bi-curious and trying to go down on a girl and
Freaking out.
Yeah, that it looks like a rolled up beef and cheddar from Arby's in the trash can.
Oh, Jesus.
It's a great song. I think it's called The College Try.
Yeah, that's right.
They do that really well, actually. I'm thinking of the Poophole Loophole as well.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
another
yeah,
one
yeah.
where it's all sweet and lovely.
Yeah, God's loophole.
Yeah. Fuck him in the ass because I love Jesus.
Yeah.
So good.
Wow.
Do you know Garfunkel and Oates at all?
No.
Check them out, man. They're on Netflix
I
and shit.
don't want to anymore.
No,
Did you-
they're great.
Did you ever watch
Okay.
Scrubs?
Yes.
You know, Ted's girlfriend
yeah, I
is
know
one of them.
Exactly who
Yeah,
you're talking
Kate
about now.
McCucci.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
All this is much funnier with a proper lead up. So
Yep,
just
okay.
having the most disgusting line said to you is not quite the same.
So, back to this. So the blob takes over Homer and he becomes an unstoppable eating machine.
Yes.
Yep.
And I love it when he's in the kitchen eating all the food and he literally eats all the mustard in the house.
Yes. It's the last thing he eats.
Nicely
Yeah.
pointed
So
out,
perfect.
Beach.
I know, it was too good. Because he just drains the whole thing.
Yeah.
Tries to eat, but...
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that kicks off the whole cannibalism aspect. And now I wanted to rewrite this joke because you see the cat sort of popping out of his stomach and Marge is like, did you eat the cat? And then he's like, no, and then starts bashing it. I think the joke should have been, Homer, did you eat the cat? And he goes, I ate a cat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's much better.
I was also uncomfortable watching him bash a cat that was in his own stomach.
It was
Yeah.
weird. And then it falls limp, but still lying like out of his own
Yeah.
skin.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's already been digested, but still.
Yep.
Well, no, it wasn't
Not
because
very well, clearly.
you see people getting digested later in the episode where
Yeah.
they suddenly just break into a million
When he's
parts
gone
and
full
dissolve.
blob.
Yeah, I didn't like it, but I also liked it more because it was more Treehouse of Horror-y.
Yeah.
That it was
Yes.
like uncomfortable and a bit. Ugh.
It was taking off a horror movie. I assume I've never
Yeah,
seen
the blob. It's from like the 40s. No one's
But the
actually
blob
seen
is
it.
Yeah.
it's not like a person turns into the blob. It's
Yeah.
just like
It's just a blob.
unsentient. Yeah.
Well, it makes sense then.
Yeah.
That they tie Homer into it like this.
Have you ever heard the like the movie tagline "Run, don't walk"? That actually comes from the blob.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
From the blob.
Was that the one? Oh no, I was about to say, was that the one where they shocked people in their seat? That was a different movie, I think.
I think that's it.
Oh, really?
There were movies, where they used to give you a little electric shock in the theater.
Because you could do that in the 30s. It was
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
They do. Then Homer runs outside and sees and is like trying to resist the temptation to eat people, but then sees a bunch of teens, and then he's just
I
like,
like
"No,
this.
I won't eat."
Teenagers.
Yeah, he's like, "No, I won't." They're like, "Barbecue sauce fight."
Yeah. The kids breaking out into a barbecue sauce
Yeah.
fight was just hilarious. Like, and yeah, so naturally Homer can't resist anymore. Squeaky voiced teen fell in the fire, is stewing in his own juices, and
Eats him and says, "Extra virgin."
Yeah.
yes, that's right.
Actually, I did like the tell people I died kissing a girl.
No.
No. Yeah.
So yeah, that whole sequence was
Blob is a jerk.
that whole sequence was probably my favorite part of this segment, followed up by something that just makes me cringe, which is the I Like Big Butts parody.
Yeah.
I
Baby
liked
got
it
yeah.
at first,
Baby
and
got
then
fat.
yeah, but then the words got lame in the second bit. It started
Yeah.
off well, I think. I can't quite
Yeah.
remember what it said, but
It was just a montage of him just eating people.
Specifically eating fat people. Though.
Yeah.
yeah, that's right.
Hawaiian shirt store and all
Yeah.
that.
Look, I don't know if this is first, but it feels like the 5th time I've seen Sir Mix-a-Lot himself a guest on an episode of something that's doing a Baby Got Back parody.
Yeah.
And
To be fair, how else does he make his money these days, honestly?
We'll give him $50 if he comes on the podcast.
Yeah.
Sir Mix-a-Lot, guest on our podcast.
I would like to talk about 50-foot Lenny.
I know.
Yeah.
I actually really like that.
That was a good interjection.
He was
Yeah.
excellent.
Like, yeah. It was
Oh, everyone's looking at Homer.
Not only being attacked by a blob, is a 50-foot and it's like, I'm looking at you, lady. Oh, thanks, Invisible Carl.
Yeah. And
Cute.
And so yeah, as Homer evolves and like he becomes green and stuff, I love all the animation around him.
Yeah. He starts getting like sloppy. I
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
think of the term, but
Yeah.
he like
More
Dripping
gelatinous.
almost.
semi-liquid. Yeah, exactly.
He's turning into a horrible gelatinous blob.
Yeah. I do like that with that quote with the Germans. Like, what did we Germans do to deserve this?
I didn't
Oh,
like
yeah.
that one.
It's weird. If they had just left it at "What do we do to deserve this?" and then they dissolved, I would have hated it. But because they added on the "oh right,"
Yeah.
I hated it less. It's interesting. I don't know why that works that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just didn't like it. It's like it makes me look at my watch and I'm like, what year is this?
Yeah. Funny you say, like, what year is it? What year did this come out?
2006.
Okay. Was Dr. Phil still famous then?
Yeah.
He's
Okay.
always going to be famous.
I just...
Yeah.
where was that his, like, nadir?
I feel
What's
like
the
11
happy
years
one?
ago he was probably pretty big, pretty popular.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that was around the time they were starting to spread the rumor that he was going to replace Oprah, like permanently.
Yeah. When I was 19, that's when I bought Dr. Phil's book. And I was binging out on a lot of Dr. Phil back then.
Oh,
Really?
jeez.
So what? That
What went-
11,
what
12
went
years
wrong
ago.
in your life?
You've just changed one binge for another.
Yeah.
Now, no matter how flat you make a pancake, it's still got two sides. I got more folksy wisdom for you later.
Oh my God.
So yeah, that was when I was 19. Yeah, 12 years ago. So yeah, Dr. Phil would have been around his apex then.
I think you're old like dirt.
What?
It's the bad lip reading of the inauguration.
Oh, right.
You want to be me? Think you're old like dirt.
I
Well-
like your nail polish, but not too much.
Bad lip reading should do a Dr. Phil episode.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, all this was very cringe-worthy. It was all of Dr. Phil's sayings just condensed into a half-minute.
It wasn't actually
cameo.
Dr. Phil voicing it, was it?
Yep.
Was it?
It was actually Sir Mix-a-Lot.
Shit.
It was actually Dr. Phil
Wow.
and those are 2 out of the 5 guest stars for this episode.
Star-studded blobby bonanza.
Yeah. And yeah, then he eats Dr. Phil and says it tastes like Jeffrey Tambor. What a very weird, obscure...
Yeah, who's Jeffrey Tambor?
He's the dad in Arrested Development. And transparent. Well,
he's the transparent.
He is the transparent.
Okay.
I think it's just a looks reference.
Yeah, so I hated the ending for this episode as well, where they get Homer to be useful to the community by eating homeless people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We skipped over Dr. Phil going, you need to help me, help them, help you, help me, help you.
Yeah.
I thought that was good.
That was good, yeah.
I was surprised that he would come on to completely take the piss out of himself like this when his job requires him to be taken so seriously.
Mm.
Do you think people on his show really take him seriously, though?
They must.
I think the people on the show do.
Probably.
The people watching, not necessarily.
Look, around this time, Dr. Phil was doing his whole Dr. Phil's weight loss challenge, and really it became a big part of his product. So... if anything, I think parents would have helped him affirm the message or something.
I guess. If you're going to be a 40-pound acidic blob, you at least got to be happy.
Yeah. And these days he's just making way for 13-year-olds to become horrible, horrible memes.
Oh, yeah. That was recently, wasn't it?
What was that?
It was Catch Me Outside.
Catch Me Outside. How about that?
There's footage on the internet now of her getting beaten up outside.
She got fucking bashed.
Did someone catch her outside?
I didn't watch it.
Oh, yeah. And she was like, how about that?
Yeah, someone called her outside.
That's really quite sad, actually.
Yeah, no,
it is.
really is.
I couldn't watch it. I won't click on that.
No, it's someone was like chasing after her and managed to land a few good shots, got her on the ground, and just kept continuously pummeling her. And it's like those downward fist strikes as well.
Yeah, like the UFC hits.
Yeah.
Like, why, though? Just for the meme?
No, I think there was a genuine disagreement there.
Okay.
I think she looks like the kind of person that might
Would
have been
piss off
in
a
a
lot of
fight
people.
before. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I
possible.
mean, even a fucking Nazi only got punched once in the face.
If you had to rank that section just quickly, what would you rank it? I'd say, silver maybe.
If it wasn't for the ending, I'd be more definitive. But I'm going to say bronze. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, likewise. Bronze, silver
bronze.
to stretch.
I'm happy with bronze.
Yep. All right, so the next section, I didn't catch the name again.
Gotta know when to golem.
Yeah. I hated this.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't mind it. It wasn't good, but...
Yeah, I thought it was okay.
It was pretty painful. Like, again, this felt like whiteboard writing on the Simpsons part. It's like, oh, we've got a Jewish golem in here. Yeah. Oh, let's mention Meshuggahs.
I liked that they kind of did
00010001110.
You're going to write in binary?
Yeah, they do. Have you ever seen that? The gent guitar?
No.
It's just got one fret, so you can 0000100.
I like it.
I like that they had they got the mythos of the golem correct. Like they didn't like Simpsons it up or anything. I kind of like that they paid attention to that and kind of talked about
So quick run through. Bart finds Krusty has the Golem of Prague in his props department and commands it for himself, and hilarity ensues.
Yep, pretty much.
Except a twist. When the golem is allowed to speak, it turns into like a kind of a Jewish stereotype.
A neurotic Jewish stereotype.
Played by Richard Lewis.
Probably one of the most famous Jews.
Yeah, Jewish comedians. The Man in Black. The man who claims he coined the term the blank from hell.
That's a big claim.
Yeah.
Like, really? He would have to be ancient for that.
But it's like, it's a metaphor.
I reckon you could probably lay claim to creating the phrase "that's all the mustard in the house."
You could.
I have.
Yeah.
And
I did have.
You owe me $5.
Oh shit! Sheridan, don't say I smoked 1 million cigarettes and you never looked at my tits.
That's all the mayo I could find.
Fucking parallel import jokes.
Yeah. This is the last bottle of ketchup in the fridge.
Yes, there you go.
So let's talk about what we liked and didn't like. I didn't like Krusty's whole, I'm going to need a shoebox of cocaine to get through this night. With the desperate houseflies. Ugh.
That's just so terrible. I do actually kind of like it.
Yeah, exactly. Buzz.
I
didn't mind it.
Yeah, because the thing I find is whenever they have any kind of focus on Krusty's Jewishness.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they make him do more like slang, Yiddish slang. A lot more because he said, a shoebox full of blow to get through this dreck. And, there's a bunch of other things that the golem says too, which is a lot. And not that I have a kind of a problem with it, but it just seems kind of lazy, that's all.
I know, I gotta say, I feel like Desperate Houseflies is something Krusty would do. Like it's in the same vein as our parody of Mad About You entitled Mad About Shoe.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not gonna like our NYPD shoe bit. It's basically the same thing. But there's precedent there. I feel like this is something they'd go with.
I did like how the very start of the episode kind of preempted the whole HD craze, the whole HD TV.
Look at your hero now.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I forgot all about that.
Considering 2006 was not a very HD era, I don't think.
Oh, this would be when
Not
it was
quite.
just starting.
Okay, yeah. Fair enough. Yeah, good point.
So, talking about lazy writing, though, the whole line about, no, I didn't say to kick Homer's walls, even the delivery was,
Whereas I didn't say man.
You can't see Beej's arms akimbo as he
Yeah.
says this.
Oh, they are so very akimbo.
I was trying to think of what the word for that is.
Yeah.
Oh, shucksing.
Balls.
Balls,
But then,
balls.
the golem starts speaking, and he just comes out with every,
Stereotyping and fine.
stereotype. It felt so lazy.
Yeah.
Just, hey, I said Meshuggah, isn't it funny?
I think that was sort of the point, though. It wasn't supposed to be laugh out loud funny.
He
It
was meant,
just-
the character was meant to be annoying, and the
Yeah.
Simpsons were getting annoyed at him, but then that felt terrible because they're getting annoyed at a Jewish person for being Jewish.
But yeah, well, the other thing is because the golem
Quotation marks.
Yeah, the golem says Jewish humor. Am I right? Like as if it's a bad thing. When a lot of the best comedy writers, I mean, this is personal preference. A lot of the best comedy writers are Jewish or have Jewish ancestry. Like the thing I always come back to is the roasts, like the Comedy Central roasts, and like the James Franco roast for me has been like way above any other roast because they had like full panel of Jewish comedians basically just ripping into each other.
Wow, Sandberg,
haven't
Hill,
seen it.
Rogan.
Yeah.
Wow, you're right.
What's his name from Nick Kroll?
Oh my God, he's excellent.
Yeah, like they had everyone. Hater. Everyone. Anyway.
Hater's not Jewish.
Yeah, but I just assume he is.
Jokes I liked. I liked Homer's, I've got a request. Open pickle jar.
Yeah.
The screen goes dark around.
Yeah. And it's even written in like almost Comic Sansian writing. It's
Yeah.
a very playful joke.
I liked when he came home plastered from Moe's. And he was like,
yeah.
I have to tell you something, father to son. I passed out on your turtle and killed it. But you'll thank me one day.
I like how your drunk Homer is almost the same as your Trump.
Well, it was tremendous.
I do also like it's one of those jokes that gets saved by a line, which is when Krusty's show finishes and Milhouse's like, okay, Bart, you want to go? He's like, nah, I want to go backstage and complain. My Krusty alarm clock just squirts acid on you, and then. Okay, what shouldn't work is then he hits it and squirts acid on Milhouse.
Yeah.
What then saves it is Milhouse goes, you already showed me.
And there was another decent Milhouse bit as well where Bart was like, oh, wow, I got a person that'll do anything for me. Milhouse goes, I shaved my head just like you wanted.
He's like, go away. Yes, master.
Thrill hell.
I was going to say words that you've learned on The Simpsons.
Bifurcated.
Bifurcated. Yeah.
I was thinking about, nice.
Yeah.
Only saving grace of that bit.
Yeah.
Hated everything about it.
Him doing a yo-yo with Skinner and... Skinner! Just let him kill you already.
Hated Chalmers going, Skinner, I wish I got to know you better.
Yeah.
And then the Willy, and then the...
But the bit in the middle of the,
Drag.
hey, I may be bifurcated, but I still have feelings, or I still
Yeah.
can heal here. Yeah, that was good. But then, the rest was horrible.
Yeah.
I do like Willie's line of, you'll make better mulch than man.
I miss that line. That is a good Willy
Yeah.
line.
Oh, it's a good Willie.
Arc.
I liked when the golem kills the bullies and then the newspaper headline says, nerds, dorks, cautiously rejoice.
Although they've kind of done that joke before
They have, I think, yeah.
with the this channel's funding away from, arts projects and stuff.
Ah,
He goes,
yes.
hey, let's get them.
And then it says, nerds badly beaten. And here comes my least favorite part of the episode, and where I hated everything until the end. Is when Fran Drescher comes on
Don't be
set.
mad
I
about
love
Fran.
Fuck Fran Drescher.
What did Fran Drescher do to you?
She made the fucking nanny.
What did the
Okay.
nanny do to you?
I love the nanny.
Elliot, serious question. Who put a gun to your head and made you watch it?
Yeah, true.
Channel 10.
Okay.
Back when there were only 3 channels.
We're going to go sue Channel 10 because they cannot do that. They cannot put a gun to a 12-year-old boy's head and force him to watch the nanny. That is ridiculous. I will represent you in court. Let's go. What are we doing? We're podcasting for.
I don't know if I've told you. You know the backstory about Fran Drescher and the nanny, though, right?
Don't sing the theme song, please.
No. I'm going to tell you. No, not about the story, but about the story of Fran Drescher and how she came to make the nanny.
She was in a good movie called Spinal Tap, and I don't give a fuck what happened afterwards.
What I'm
happened?
about to make you feel really bad.
Yeah.
Fran Drescher was in Spinal
sit
Tap.
back.
You're right. Then she was living in New York in her apartment with another thing. Someone broke into her apartment, tied her up, and raped her and beat her.
Holy shit.
Yeah. And she was out of action for a long time, and the nanny was like one of her first shows back after kind of, having a lot of therapy and getting back in the hang of, being outside and around people.
I had never heard that before.
I don't like the nanny, but I respect her for doing it.
Far out.
Oh, no, absolutely. It's absolutely commendable for someone to go through that and, have such great success as she did. But, I'm just not a fan of canned laughter sitcoms just on the whole. And the nanny is one of the perpetrators of some of the worst, tackiest humor that I ever saw in the 90s.
What about Seinfeld?
That's one of the best fucking things ever created.
And you said canned laughter.
I also said generally.
Do you think the nanny, in your opinion, is worse than something like Modern Family?
I love the first 3 seasons of Modern Family.
Seriously?
Yeah, it's really good.
It's not bad.
Yeah, it's really intelligently written television. In the first 3 seasons, it does turn into a shitty sitcom after season 4, though.
No, it's awful. Start to finish, awful.
Seriously? It's got one of the strongest pilots of any show I've ever seen.
It's almost on Big Bang Theory bad level for me.
Oh, wow. That was a big call.
New seasons of Modern Family, yes. Not the old seasons. Sorry, anyway, we've probably gone on with this a bit too long.
Whatever.
So, diverse opinions on sitcoms.
Index.
But look,
quick.
Can you tell me any of the Fran Drescher bits that were given here that were good?
The immediate reveal of her voice.
Yeah. That was excellent.
When they make a Play-Doh lady golem for man golem, and they make her live, and she's, there's a shiny music moment, then
And she put that, she's put that on.
Yeah.
Oh,
total.
That's not her natural voice.
Yeah. Well, no, it isn't. We know that, right? So it's good.
Oh, yeah. No one is more self-aware of her shtick than her.
Yeah.
The wedding bit, I didn't mind.
It's pan-fried.
Yeah.
Case dropped.
Fine. Okay, that was a good joke.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
I really want a latke bar.
You really don't want to like it, do you?
No, I don't. If I had to rank this segment, I'd give it a participant. How about you guys?
Bronze to silver.
Okay.
I'm on a Patissa bronze.
All right.
I'm going to give it a bronze.
Oh, wait, we did miss the joke where, it's showing the golem being made in Prague and then shooting all the the riot people there for the Jewish man, the rabbi, and with torches and pitchforks, and just shoots them all like Old West style.
Yeah.
And then it kind of transitions to Krusty, who's getting heckled. The golem just comes out and shoots them all again.
Yes.
It's one of those things that shouldn't work, but I do like that you're not expecting it. And that's why it's funny.
Yeah. All right. Well, that does it for the more you golem, the less you mashugana. What was it called?
Gotta know when to golem.
Yeah. Right. Kenny Rogers.
And we move to the day the Earth looked stupid.
Yeah, a War of the Worlds parody. And unintended theme, third act being all sepia-toned and making a Hitler joke.
Oh, yeah. Good point.
Yeah.
Is that the playlist? Before you ask us later.
I don't think the other episode ties into it at all, but we'll see.
We'll find out.
Yeah.
But I do like that they're self-referential about the sepia tone. As well, like they do actually mention, I love how everything's, sepia. And
Yeah, it makes me feel all nostalgic.
Yeah.
Yeah, this bit was mostly good, I thought. I thought it faltered at the end a bit.
It didn't know how to stick the landing. Everything else worked pretty well. So, Springfield is in the 1940s or 30s or whatever, and all of a sudden they hear on the radio they're being invaded by Martians. But wait a second.
Cylinders.
It's the Orson Welles bit.
Yeah.
Doing World of the War.
Featuring our...
World of the Wars.
World of the Wars.
Sounds
A whole world of war.
Wells of the Orson.
Why do you keep calling it the First World War?
You'll see.
I
I think also at the start when they're panning in and showing that it's early. I'm pretty sure that was Gloomy Sunday.
Yeah, no,
playing. It was? Okay, good.
Billie Holiday, right?
Yeah, Billie Holiday's Gloomy Sunday.
Also known as the Hungarian suicide
a
song.
record number of suicides.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, you didn't know that?
They banned it in Hungary.
Because, a record number of people were committing suicide with the song playing on
Far
repeat.
out.
Yeah.
Apparently. Yeah.
And if you played it backwards, it was a recipe for fruitcake.
Yeah, but who likes
In
fruitcake?
hell.
It's disgusting.
First, take 1 cup of flour in hell and mix it with an egg.
No.
In hell.
Now mix your batter together and cook it in hell.
Now you want your hell at about 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Yeah.
Enjoy your
Did we just think of the same joke at the same time?
Yeah.
Enjoy your
It's
fruitcake for all eternity. In hell.
I don't know what I'm imagining like in an infomercial, like in hell.
Welcome to hell. There's fruitcake.
No, it's the worst kind of cake.
Cooked for all eternity.
It's gonna be dry and crumbly and
Oh,
awful.
it's dry. No.
There's no milk in hell.
That's all the custard in the house.
In hell.
In hell.
It's all the custard in the abode.
All right, so bringing it back to the episode. So Maurice LaMarche playing Orson Welles, doing his Orson Welles impression was fucking spot on.
Yeah, it was quite good. I liked it.
I am a massive, massive fan of Maurice LaMarche. You
Yeah.
may know him from doing various voices on Futurama, as well as being the brain from Pinky and.
Oh.
Yeah, he is too.
The same thing we do every night. Sorry.
Come to think, I'm pretty sure the Pinky in the Brain episode where he does play Orson Welles.
Oh, really? That'd make sense. Animaniacs was like oddly educational.
Yeah, no, they had some very interesting references there.
Yeah. And I love all the Foley jokes with Maurice. Oh, it's a bunch of horses, and now
Horses in the rain.
Wait, where's that sound effect? Thank you.
And then they were like, and now now they're bowling near the White House. And it just holds up, screw you.
fantastic jokes.
Yeah.
And then, he's doing the, oh, well, I'm just sure it's a silly prank and all the people will just get a little chuckle out of this. Chaos ensues.
Yeah.
Chaos and rioting and looting in Springfield. Homer's just shooting people.
Firing bullets into the air wildly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's closest neighbor. Flanders?
No, Mars.
That was pretty funny. But there was another police Wiggum and Lou thing here, which I hated. Oh, send the car into the lake. Oh, did you get my sweater?
No, Chief.
So lame. I don't know why they put so much stock into...
It is weird they do this so much. I hadn't noticed until we brought it up and overanalyzed it, but it's definitely a thing that's happening.
Do you reckon there's like one writer who's on staff who just loves like Lou and Wiggum jokes? And they're like, oh, fine, we'll put one in this episode. That's all you get. All right?
Well, look, this is a thing where, like, because Simpsons back in the day used to have a lot of writing meetings, a lot of table reads. These days, they don't. And I think they're actually writing for the one table read that they have, where Hank Azaria probably looks pretty funny going back and forth with himself with
That would be
Wiggum
really
and Lou.
entertaining, yeah.
And I think watching one person do that, but...
Hilarious.
Yeah, I
But
don't like
on
it.
screen, no, it doesn't work.
And the Barney, hey, I'm Irish. Wait, I'm Polish.
That was dumb.
Was very derpy as well. But Big Band Stu, that was fucking hilarious.
Just like Big Ben Stu, his little pocket watch swinging it around.
Big Band Stu,
in
that's
his-
a 23 skidoo.
in his zoot suit.
Yeah. So this is where the episode sort of falls apart for me, where... I'm not that familiar with War of the Worlds. Did this actually happen? Were people pretending to be animals?
They didn't pretend to be animals. Apparently some people did. Well, it's reported, the famous story is people did believe they were actually being invaded by Mars. I've heard that's not actually true and it's highly exaggerated, but who the hell knows what's true anymore with our modern ideas and products. So
I think it's an alternative truth.
It was one of the earliest known examples of fake news.
Yeah.
Wow, it was
Sad.
Tremendous.
Tremendous. So we do quickly have Quimby have the great line. He's like, we have nothing to fear but these invading aliens. They're incredibly advanced technology.
Yeah.
And then Marge has the great idea of like, hey, the aliens are only killing people. Let's all act like animals. And Mel is like, remove your clothes and wallow in filth.
Yeah.
So,
That was another, like, sometimes they lean on Sideshow Mel's delivery too much, but this is one of those moments where it's going, oh, wow. That it tickles me just right.
because it's the only thing he says, but I think it works really well when he's...
Yeah.
Where the hell was Lisa?
I don't know.
Because she rocks up.
She just rocks up back from school trip.
The entire town is wallowing in filth, and she's the only one who just shows up. It's like, where were you?
But I like how she's got her books like with a belt wrapped around them, like
the
old
classic
school.
old-timey book.
And it's
belt
like, that was
thing.
just a joke, right? And I was like, yeah.
Moo.
Yeah.
Homer going moo with a question mark at the end. That was right.
Yep.
And then Kang and Kodos decided that was like the perfect time to invade.
And I do like they've got the little bus changing thing, and they wind the thing that changes from casual observer to attack.
Yeah.
That's just one of those jokes like in Futurama where it's such advanced technology, but it's operated with the most old school of means.
That's right.
Like,
Yeah.
really.
But I think that was the last good joke on this, because then the aliens actually show up, and Orson Welles is like, people, I'm telling you, this is a real invasion. They're like, yeah, sure it is, Orson.
Yeah. I don't know, to me, that didn't need to happen.
No, it was they obviously had run out of material, and they were just like, what do we do now?
Yeah, because then it feels like Kang and Kodos, like, that must have been the voice actor just improvising with himself. I don't know about these humans. I don't seem to blah, blah, blah. And
Well, I was going to say, before that, they definitely didn't need to do the stupid nosebud joke.
oh, that's
that was
right.
weird.
Yeah.
I'll punch you in the nose, bud.
Yeah.
Nose, bud. That might make an interesting move. Now,
Yeah.
fuck you.
What a stretch, right? Like, it would have only just worked a little bit more if he tried to hand him a rose. Like, here's a rose, bud.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty dumb.
Yeah.
Almost, and then at the very end, I just felt like, oh, this is the same reason why I didn't like Elysium for the same reason. At the end of this episode, it was just like shaking you by the shoulders.
Yeah.
Do you get it?
Yeah.
Do you
Get
get
the
it?
metaphor.
Oh, that's right. Because
When-
Kang and Kodos go into this whole rant, and it's an
Yeah.
obvious parallel to what happened in the
In like
Iraq,
Afghanistan or Iraq or
yeah.
whatever.
Yeah,
Pick
they were
one.
building weapons of mass disintegration.
Yeah.
Get it? Do you get it?
It
Do you get it?
And look, I hold a lot of resentment for the Simpsons, who at this time back in the early aughts, like, should have been making way more open statements about George Bush and what he was doing to the country at the time, because they certainly didn't fucking shy away from having digs at Clinton back in the classic years.
Yeah.
And they were really just backing off for it for whatever reason. Must have been a Fox thing. And yeah, for then this to be what they come out with was so fucking...
Well, Fox are big supporters of the Republican Party. What was Clinton? Was he a Democrat?
He was Democrat.
There you go. Because
Well,
it wasn't Bush.
But The Simpsons,
Republican.
we've talked about this before. The Simpsons have always been fairly even-handed in the sense that their opinion that they put through on the show is they're both shit.
Oh,
Yeah.
no. But I'm saying Fox are gonna maybe
Well,
discourage.
Yeah, but
you'd
look,
think
even
so,
in
but
this-
then like The Simpsons have
Yeah.
also never shied away from making fun of Fox, so
Yeah,
I don't
who
see why
knows?
they would then.
That's true.
And also at this time, this is when Family Guy was getting popular, and they were pretty overtly liberal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have they ever made fun of Rupert Murdoch himself?
Yes.
In the episode that Rupert Murdoch appeared.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
that's
Okay.
right.
Well, not terribly.
Yeah.
They call him a billionaire tyrant.
He
but-
calls him a billionaire. Oh, maybe he really likes that.
Yeah, no, I'd
Maybe
imagine he would.
Rupert Murdoch has that like monogrammed.
Yeah, instead of thug life, he's got billionaire tyrant tattooed across his chest.
Sad.
That is fucking gangster.
Yeah.
It would be, man. Old money, fuck.
Like rich people have their own version of YouTube where they share videos like that, or it's just like, yeah, instead of Thug Life, billionaire tyrant with like the GTA font.
Oh.
That's like in like black chancery font.
All right, guys, that about does it. Listen on something else.
Oh yeah, there's a bit. Okay, right at the end, it finishes Kang and Kodos talking about their obvious Iraq parody, and then it pans across the devastated wasteland of Springfield, and it holds there for a long time.
Yeah.
And it plays Start a Fire by the Ink Spots, which is a Fallout reference. But it goes for a really long time.
It just
it's
keeps
like
going.
It just holds on that. And it's like, that's a reference I feel like, obviously there are Fallout players, Fallout 3 for that song, I'm pretty sure.
But either way,
Wow.
I felt like they were trying to make you hear something in the lyrics, and I didn't quite catch them.
No, well, I mean, it's just, if you're holding on a site of devastation and playing the Ink Spots, you're making a Fallout reference. There's no question there.
Because the other thing is, Fallout 1 and 2 were top-down, weren't they, or something?
Isometric, yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. But yeah, there was just the occasional explosion. It was a weird sequence. I wasn't quite sure what to think.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate ending to this otherwise decent segment of Treehouse of Horror.
Yeah.
It was probably my favorite out of all three of them. So if I were to rank it now, I'd say it gets a just silver.
Ooh.
How about you?
Me?
Quick fire.
I'd give this segment I'll give it a bronze.
Silver.
Yeah, I'm going to silver this one. If it had a better landing, I might have even gone gold, but it's only just silver for me. It just, the ending is bad. The rest of it is great, though.
All right, well, it's time for a questionnaire that's very spooky. Questionnaire. Spooky. Play count. How many times do you think you've seen Treehouse 17?
At least twice.
Yeah, maybe 3 times.
I don't think I've seen this one before.
Yeah?
I thought I had, but I didn't recognize any of it, so probably not.
Yeah, this is about 3 or 4 for me. I actually, going into it, thought I hated it a lot more than I did. So, did it feel like a Treehouse of Horror?
Yes.
Definitely more so than the last one. Like, absolutely 100% more.
Yeah, you could tell what they were drawing the parody inspiration from.
Yep. So, how did the horror work for this one for you guys?
A lot better. It was more... Again, because you know what they're drawing from, so they get, Homer being a cannibal, you get the War of the Worlds parody, and the Golem wasn't exactly a horrific story, but it was still supernatural, I suppose.
Yeah. It wasn't a particularly scary, if you will, Treehouse of Horror, but there were elements of horror there, and it was well thought out genre-wise.
The way they usually do the kind of like the horror in Treehouse of Horror is always like a comedic spin to any of the things. It's never like it's supposed to be out and out, like actually scare you. So I think in that respect, they started out with a horror concept in each of them, and took it to like kind of a Simpsons-esque ending. So I think from that point of view, it was definitely more true to the original Treehouses.
Sure.
Indeed.
How did the parody elements work for you, though?
They worked well.
Yeah.
I knew what each one was going for. Whether or not they quite landed it, that's up to the individual, but you knew where they were going.
Yeah, I think it was done quite well.
Yeah.
Overall.
I think they started out strongly in the first and the third one, and then the ending kind of let them down a little bit on both of those.
Yeah, that's a solid point. So yes or no, would you watch this on again?
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Yeah.
Yes, I would.
All right, well, I guess it's time to rank this thing. Sheridan, kick off the rankings for us this time.
I will rank it silver.
All right.
I think it had good traditional elements of a Treehouse of Horror. I didn't hate any of the 3, what do you call them?
Segments.
Intra episodes. I don't know. Segments. There you go. Yeah, overall, it was pretty good.
Jordan, what would you like to rank this episode?
What would I like to rank it? I'm hovering between...
I know the feeling, yeah.
You know how to hover too? Yeah. You know what? Oh. Okay, you know what? I am going to give it silver. I can't remember if I've given anything silver ever in this podcast.
It's a weird ranking.
It is a very strange ranking, but it's it's above average this episode. Which is, I'm finding it weird saying that, but I didn't hate it, and I didn't find it meh. And I liked some of the jokes in it, and I didn't think it was as awful as the last one. So yeah, I think I'm going to give it a silver.
All right, and BT?
Yeah, I'm hovering on the Brilva line as well. I feel like I'm thinking of it more favorably because of the last one, because this one actually had like plot structure and things.
Yep.
I think I'm going to go with bronze because I feel like I didn't quite get the jokes. I didn't quite get the story out of it that I want. So, I mean, I think if one's like the one where they parody Harry Potter, I think of that as more of a silver. Whereas this one, I think it's just a little on the bronze end. There's maybe not quite as many jokes. I'm going to enjoy, barbecue sauce fight and things like that. But I feel like I'm not going to walk away with too much from this one. I think it's just comparison to the last one, it's much better. So that's a bronze from me, Elliot.
All right, and
Sorry. Bronze. They gave it a scary silver. I'm giving it a bubonic bronze.
Bubonic.
Bronze.
Look it up.
I'm just impressed with your choice of adjective.
Yeah, I couldn't think of B ones quick enough.
Could you say
Brutal.
Bronze for your life or something? I don't know. That's shit.
Could you have said boobs?
Well, boobs is like the highest ranking I can give anything.
Yeah.
What about
That's well above cubic
I rank
zirconia.
this episode boobs. Boobs.
I'm also going to rank this one a bronze. It did a lot better than I thought it was going to do, but it definitely passes the hangover test. I feel like this is like a good snoozy Simpsons episode where I could the blob one, fall asleep during the Gollum one and go, the words one.
Yeah, I feel like this is the one where if you're hungover and there's a knock at the door and your food's arrived, you don't pause it. You get up, you grate your food, you come back, you sit down, you keep watching, but you don't bother pausing it.
Yep. Totally. All right, well, that about does it for our late teens episode. Now we're going to go to the early teens, which is going to be Treehouse of Horror X.
Is it going to be like Jason X?
When you wanna make a bad day a greater day, come to Brown Lady.
I win.
I win.
And we are back, and we just watched our sort of classic era episode for tonight. It was season 11, episode 4, Treehouse of Horror X.
It's the closest we're going to get.
Under the Mayoween rules, which are spooky and don't allow for classic episodes to be reviewed. It was first released in October of 1999.
Okay.
And as I understand it, actually on Halloween.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
Well,
that's
yeah,
good.
October, yeah.
Yeah, which is actually unusual for a Treehouse of Horror. Guys, what did you think?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
This one's going to be pretty favorable. I don't actually remember it being this funny. Maybe I'm a little bit tipsy tonight, but that was great.
Yeah, I really liked it. I think it was again, maybe it's the gradually getting back closer to classic area. It really kind of makes things look a lot better.
Yeah, and there's actually a few quotable lines in here I use actually quite fairly often.
Absolutely.
So, let's get in.
One of the other things that stands out to me about this Treehouse of Horror, it does have a classic Treehouse of Horror feel, but not an early classic. I felt like when they hit their stride around Treehouse of Horror 4, 5, this feels like one of those ones to me.
Yeah.
To me, it gets no more classic Treehouse than the first one with the Raven.
Oh, yeah.
That's the epitome of Treehouse for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, actually, we'll be doing that one in this year's Treehouse of Horror-thon in October, so...
Halloween in October? What the hell?
That should happen in May, like
Got
regular
nothing
people.
in Mayoween, yeah.
Where children go door to door and get various mayonnaises.
I was about to say Mayoween. It's like Halloween, only it's richer and creamier.
But how do you spell that?
Praise. And then you get home and your mum's like, "How did you do, sweetie?" He goes, "Oh, it's great. I got whole egg. I got light.
I got with lime. Oh, it's so good. Wait a second. Low fat. Fuck you, Johnsons."
I'm getting into the intro where greeted with Kang and Kodos first up as they're doing like a variety show presentation. And I thought this was great.
Yeah, because they're tanking it entirely. They go, he's got a blowtorch like, "What are you doing? You said we were going to warm up the audience." And I love it's got the laugh track, but cuts the audience of all weird aliens just dead silent.
Yeah.
But no, it's beautiful direction because... he does the joke. You hear the laugh track while still they're panned on Kang and Kodos doing like that expecting smile.
Yeah.
And then it pans to the audience who couldn't look more pissed off.
Yeah, the pause for laughter smile.
Yeah. Yeah, it was fantastic. And even though that they went to it a second time, I felt like it still worked.
Yeah. What was it? My friend Kang has accidentally got a human brain or something.
And they're like,
It's just-
"Woo!" Deadpan nothing.
Yeah. Anyway, in the first segment is an I Know What You Did Last Summer parody called I Know What You Diddly Idly Did.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't realize how fucking funny this one was.
Yeah.
This one, I think just to jump ahead, I do rate this one gold because it's just tight and quick and funny. It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for those playing at home, this is the one where the Simpsons run over Ned Flanders and try to hide the murder, but then someone knows.
Yep. And, I mean, most of my notes about this are just so positive. Even Homer's goofy little song parody of the Sugar Crisp made me
love
laugh.
it at the start.
Yeah.
Guess I forgot to put the fog lights in.
Yeah, and it's one of those things I'm only reasonably sure about this because this was the part of my life where I was growing up in America where, on the back of, like, Sugar Crisps packets would be the bear trying to save the cereal from, like, vampires and stuff. And
Really?
And that's where the line comes from, I think. And let me know in the comments.
Honestly, it seems very apt because, like, I mean, as kids, I think we were exposed to a shitload of sugar cereal commercials, but not in the same way that Americans were.
No
way.
Like, you look at American breakfast cereal, it's just candy. It's insane.
It really is, yeah.
I remember going on a trip with school in like 2002. The breakfast we got at one was a watermelon Pop-Tart with this lime green icing you put on the top and Oreo cereal, which was just little Oreos about as big as a lifesaver.
Well, I just realized we didn't even need an example. If you need an example of this, consider the fact that Sugar Crisps is a cereal. It's called Sugar Crisps with a K. I'm very sorry. Sugar Crisps is in fact spelled with a C, not a K. But I'm going to look up Sugar Crisp vampires.
Oh, you're doing that. So Marge runs over Flanders, and I thought this was actually a good move of the episode. And Bart's line following it up, we can't go to the police. No policeman will believe a Simpson run over a Flanders by accident. Even I had my doubts.
Yeah.
Like, if it was Homer, there would be that suspicion, but because it was Marge, there was none of that.
Yeah, I loved Homer's bit where he's kind of like, no, we're just going to make sure.
Yeah.
He's whispering.
You're not dead.
He's whispering it to Flanders.
Yeah. He sounds so creepy when he's doing it.
Yeah. And Homer's plan is to make Flanders' death look like an accident, and I love this bit.
The whole sequence is so good.
Yeah, he's weekend at Bernie's.
Yeah.
I almost said Burnsies, which is that other Simpsons episode. Flanders on the roof. I'm up here with my friend Homer.
Yeah.
Diddly.
And Maude is buying it.
Yeah.
It's like,
great.
when I do die, I don't want any autopsies.
And she's so like, oh, well, whatever, come down. Like that's something that he does say to her a lot or something.
Nanny, where have you been? You've gone out on one of your fog walks. God, of course he would do that.
Mm-hmm.
And like stretching out the whole Homer faking Ned's death thing, I thought worked perfectly here, where Maude misses Homer throwing Flanders from the ceiling, but then Homer's next idea is, I'll just say he faked a heart attack and throw him inside.
I just love that Flanders lands on the doghouse.
Yeah.
There's something weirdly like exactly aimed at that.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, oh no, I think I'm having a heart attack. Like just throws him in the door, just shuts it, and like just wipes his hands. Like, there we go.
But no, he's got, and that's the end of that chapter.
Yeah,
like,
Max Power callback. That happened before this episode, definitely.
Mm-hmm. Homer's giving the eulogy, and he's like, what does it say? You know, when I think of Ned, I think of his face when Marge ran him over the car.
Yeah. She's like, Marge drove over, like, Homer.
But anyway, we're still looking for the culprits, and you can't make a man testify against his wife. Stop winking.
I feel like this is one of those jokes in the new seasons that I complain about its heavy-handedness, but I felt like they dealt with this so well.
It's the delivery in this one that works, and the fact that you don't move away from Homer when he's doing it to like any concerned reactions or anything. It's just him bumbling his way through a eulogy.
And also that he punches Ned's corpse on the way through. Sorry to lose you, buddy. Smack.
I think my bit is that they come home and they see the writing, and then they're like, someone saw us, and it's like all the like Krusty and Moe, like they're doing
and
all
Sherry
being
and Terry
angry.
are like skipping no one.
Yeah. And it's this beautiful pan.
And then Homer just like pointing at the camera. Like, Homer, stop that.
Like he saw everybody else and he wanted to follow along.
Yeah.
He's pointing like right at Marge, who did do it. Like, let's be honest.
Yep.
And the bit where they're on their way back home from the funeral and Homer's like, oh, we got away with murder. You know what? I've never liked that Millhouse
He
kid.
starts swerving slightly.
Another bit that pays off the whole fact that Marge killed Ned in this one, because Homer gets to have the great line, oh, but you got to kill. I just like, no more murder.
Yeah.
No, it's great.
Right. So then, someone's calling the house. I know you're alone. Who is this? Oh, is this Maud Flanders? No, it's Homer. Oh, hey, Homer, it's Mo.
Yeah. So, this to me feels like a good creepy mode gag. Like
that he would call up a widow, just be like, I know you're alone. I could be there if you want.
I feel like The Simpsons really struggle to find the delicate balance between what works with a creepy mode gag and what doesn't. Like,
for sure.
Too many times he just comes off as a predator.
Yeah, which is sad. But here he's...
This is funny, predator.
Yeah. Still predatory, but not like...
It's opportunistic.
Opportunistic, yeah. It feels like I'm almost misguided predator thing, as in...
Misguided predator.
I know, it's a weird term.
Sorry, to me, that just sounds like a lawyer defense, like he's trying to bump him down.
He meant well.
Judge, can we get this knocked down from predator to a misguided predator?
Yeah.
He didn't mean... He's just an idiot.
It was involuntary.
Involuntary.
Involuntary predator. Wow.
That's part of what I do.
I like we just created a new legal defense.
Yeah.
Sorry, everybody.
But to all the lawyers out there, you're welcome. And then
we have the fantastic line of, all right, Bart, I want you to hide in the spooky roller disco, Lisa in the abandoned amusement park, Marge's pet cemetery, and I'll go to that lake where the 60 teens died exactly 100 years ago today.
Brilliant. Just
rapid fire tropes.
I love that the spooky abandoned disco is like still playing.
Yeah.
For spooky reasons.
Disco music.
I don't know if you got this as a note, Jordan. I do have an anal corner bit.
Yeah, go for it.
Well,
fuck you.
He's
not
pushing
allowing
the
it
glasses
anymore.
I do this on any time I bring up anything particular. Yeah, Ned has the line of, you can't kill the undead. Werewolves are not undead.
Mm-hmm.
Look up your monster manual. They're still alive. They're not
What are they
undead.
classified as?
They would be, just naturally occurring beasts. They would not be magically based monsters. I'm pretty sure.
But they do transform.
They transform, yeah.
Okay.
For the ending of this episode, I thought this is probably like a point you could say this is where the segment had a fault. Because I don't think it ended great.
No, it just ends with Homer being mauled and having a few gags on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and for that reason, it didn't seem necessary that Flanders was a werewolf. But then again, I don't know how else you'd end this segment.
Yeah, it's fine. I think you get enough jokes, you don't really care. At this point, I've gotten the word spooky roller disco, and I'm happy.
Like, honestly, I'm grasping for things to not like about this episode now.
I think it's one of those things where, yes, it ends weekly, but at that point, you're having so much fun, you don't care.
Yeah.
I think you could have ended it with like potentially like a Flanders coming to be like a live-in, like a pet or something when he's in werewolf form. Just
like in the Itchy
being...
and Scratchy bit where they put Itchy in the mouse cage and they take Scratchy to go get neutered.
You know what? Make the stalker be Maud, and like the Simpsons license plate is like embedded in Ned's chest, and that's how she knows.
Oh, that's a good one.
Clever.
But you wouldn't get any jokes out of that. It would be actually like genuine horror. So
unless Homer had gotten a vanity license plate.
It just says IH8 Ned.
Yeah.
That actually works pretty well for me. I like that.
Yeah.
If you were to rank this segment, what would you give it? I'd actually give it a gold.
Yeah, no, I got this one as well.
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun. Yeah, really the ending is its only fault.
Yeah.
But
even then, it's still funny.
It's still there's a little gag about the eyes bigger than belly, huh, Wolfie?
I wanted the news, not the weather.
Yeah.
And they used an interesting transition here where they
Pan up to the moon,
ended on a moon and then they started on a moon in the next section, which is called Desperately Zeking Xena.
What a segue.
And this is a very silly story, but I fucking love it.
Yeah, it's so much fun.
I forgot this was so late. This sequence, I thought it was like maybe season 9 or 8. But for our listeners is Stretch Dude and Clobber Girl.
Yep.
Stretch Dude and Clobber Girl. I don't remember the rest.
Okay, so all the kids are having their candy X-rayed by the police. And
yes.
Ralph is dressed up as a police officer, and he goes, Chief Wiggum goes, you're the cutest police officer. Like, we got feelings here too, Chief.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that's more funny because it's an adult being jealous of a kid.
Yeah, it's a single banter. You don't go into a long, drawn-out, well, if you feel that way, Lou, maybe you should dress up when you come into the office.
Yeah.
Oh, I do, Chief. You never know. That would be the problem.
Yeah.
But it's just the one-off, and that's it. It's one and done.
Yeah.
And so while... having their candy X-rayed, Nelson, who's dressed as Jughead for some reason, puts in a sack that fights back and doesn't want to go into the X-ray machine.
It's too big. He stole too much candy.
I felt like it was moving.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
He kind of punches it in, and he breaks.
Maybe it had a nerd stuck in it.
Breaks the machine and zaps Bart and Lisa and gives them superpowers.
Now, this sort of actually reminds me of the Futurama episode.
The one where they get the cream.
The one where they get the cream, yeah, and they become superheroes. Like, it's very silly, but it's still very fun.
And it's a great episode.
Yeah. But I thought it was actually a really good choice to have Bart with the stretchy powers and Lisa with the strength.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a flip on its head, yeah. He's got to find intelligent, creative ways to fight bad guys, and she just has to punch nerds.
Which is a good look for her.
Yeah. I do love Bart's, I must only use this power to annoy, and stretches around, knocks on the door, and Skinner's like, yes, up, down, left, right, side to side, what's the point? Slap.
Well, I mean, it reminds me of like classic Warner Brothers like door knocking gags, like where they do that thing. Just two other quick bits I liked from the beginning. I liked how Milhouse is wearing Radioactive Man pajamas pretending to be Radioactive Man.
Yeah.
That felt like a very kid thing to me.
It really did. It's like, I'm Radioactive Man. I don't think Radioactive Man would wear a smock with his own face on it. He would if it was Halloween. I do like that. I'm pretty sure Lisa's Amelia Earhart. It doesn't draw full attention to it, but I'm pretty sure.
That makes sense. And that would be the kind of person that she would go as Halloween
exactly.
as.
Either that or Frida Kahlo or something.
Susan B. Anthony.
So yeah, they kick in with the song as well. Like, I tried to make sure I paid special attention to the animation in the song montage thing here.
Yeah.
I don't think it was actually particularly strong.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it gives you an idea. It's saying, hey, we're doing a superhero bit now. And it does that with a little quick music montage that's very, a little bit Spider-Man theme song, a little bit, just...
It is too a bit, isn't it? I thought the one problem with it was that Bart, they shouldn't have done so much with Bart fishing the penny out of the toilet or whatever that was.
It was a watch for Homer, yeah.
Yeah, but them kicking Saddam Hussein's ass.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It was the big bad at the time, I'm guessing.
The big bad of Earth.
Yep.
Yeah.
Who is it now? Trump.
Oh, God.
That's if you're talking the political realm.
Yeah.
If you're talking like pop culture realm, I'm pretty sure the final boss used to be David Bowie. We're still figuring out who it is now. It's probably either Bruce Campbell or Christopher Walken. It's probably Christopher Walken as the final boss.
Yeah.
So it cuts to Lucy Lawless doing a Q&A at the android's dungeon.
Yes.
Yep.
And I love this bit.
Because Lucy Lawless has come back into my scope mostly because of Ash vs. Evil Dead, and is just
she in
amazing.
that?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
And is amazing. So newfound respect for all things Lucy Lawless.
She also had a great run in Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And Parks and Rec.
Yeah, Parks and Rec. And I never knew she had like a full, thick Kiwi accent either. I never knew that.
Yeah.
So well done fighting that. But I was listening to the director's commentary on Ash vs. Evil Dead. I'm like, what? That is not what? Cena, what's up?
It's a surprise, isn't it? Like when you hear Adele, like she sounds so soulful and powerful, but then when she talks, she's like,
a buck-toothed British person.
oh, that person was a right fucking conk.
Yeah, she talks like a wharfie. Yeah.
Oh, wow, I was joking. I didn't actually know what she sounded like.
Yeah, she sounds like she's just come off a 16-hour shift at the docks.
Wow.
All right, and she's doing a Q&A, and I love this bit because this is another oft-quoted bit in the Simpsons Index that I cannot fucking believe, like, I didn't know was from this, like, off the top of my head. It's amazing.
Shall we after 3? 1, 2, 3.
A wizard did it.
Which has not only been used many times in this podcast, we just use that in life.
Yeah, I got really mad at you when you first used it at me, and I'm like, oh, wait, yes.
Well, look, I mean, to be fair to you, like, it is actually hard to draw the line where you go, all right, what do you get all nitpicky about?
Yeah.
And, you know, there's some things that you can forgive in that way, especially when you're watching fantasy things like Xena. It's like, okay, yeah, a wizard did it, whatever.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I think in my head I'd associate it with well, in season 2, episode 14, we see Scratchy strike to the same rib twice and produce 2 distinctly different notes. I think I botched it with those 2 and thought that had been the wizard did it. That's why I didn't.
Well,
remember.
yeah, I mean, it is essentially the same bit. It's
Yeah. But no, it's just a great response of a wizard did it.
Then, even though it's in the android's dungeon, comic book guy as the Collector steals her with a magnet, and I love that. Like, she can totally escape if she undoes her bra clip, but everyone with their cameras immediately.
Yeah, and it's all like, must remove my breastplate. Maybe later.
Yeah. That's a joke that even holds up now because of, you know, taking a photo culture.
Yeah, and just breastplates haven't changed in all these years.
I thought it made a lot of sense for comic book guy to be the villain in this story, though.
Yeah, it worked really well. They gave him like the second you see that the still frame after the theme song, like, enter the Collector, you're like, oh, I get it.
Yeah.
It's enough. You don't need anything more. You don't need a villainous backstory. It's enough. You'll stay forever in this Milac pouch between Doctor Who and Yasmin Bleak.
Yasmin Bleeth.
What was she?
I mostly know her from basketball.
I believe it's Baywatch is what she's from in this. Hence
really?
the red swimsuit.
That would make sense.
Oh, yeah. So which Doctor Who was that as well?
That was Tom Baker.
Yep, Tom Baker, 60s, I believe. Famous for the very long scarf.
Yeah.
Funny story about that scarf.
Go.
Okay, so they had like a prop. They wanted him to have a scarf, and they had like a bunch of balls of yarn, and they were just like, "Hey, props lady, can you knit us a scarf and let us see?" And what they wanted was a bunch of different colors knit from, you know, different balls of yarn. But they came back the next morning, she'd knit one huge scarf out of all of them, and they were like,
"That's right.
We didn't mean that, but that's amazing. Let's use that."
Yeah.
It seems very the Doctor, too.
It seems very Britishish. She's gone, "Oh, you want me to one scarf out of all these? Well, I better just do that."
I'll be here all night, but I'll make it ready.
It's a dorky line as well, but I loved how the Collector goes, "Oh, I've got a phaser that was only built to stop Bill Shatner from making another album."
Yeah.
And it's like, wasn't effective.
No, I just really like he shoots at Stretch Dude the whole time and dodges, runs out of ammo, throws at him, just hits him in the head.
Yeah.
Knocks him out completely.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, this whole bit, like, it unfolded, like, as a parody, but also as a...
Very Batman TV series with Adam West kind of vibe to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
The campy villain and the...
But honestly, even after a few times watching it, I still feel the suspense from when their Clubber Girl has been tied up in Stretch Dude and they are being lowered into the lucite.
It's like, Bart, set yourself free and just let me drop. What do you think I've been trying to do?
Yeah. And yeah, Xena's whole coaxing the Collector from beneath her Mylar prison.
I know.
That was such a good bit.
Got your lips.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like the reference to Mr. Mixes Pizlik is a Superman villain who's like just a magical trickster, essentially.
Oh, it is.
Oh, really?
And the only way you can banish him back to his dimension is to make him say his own name backwards. And it's all like X's, Y's, Z, Q's and shit.
That's right. That's the weirdest freaking villain.
Yeah. And then, calls on her like Xena powers. Oh, wait. No. I'm
Lucy
Xena.
Lawless.
I'm Xena and I want to have Zex.
That's a great
Xena
line.
needs
Zex. That's right.
Yeah. There were so many of those tacky puns as well.
Yeah.
And like even before the Collector going, "Oh, take that, wretch dude and slubber girl."
I know.
Yeah.
Again, very Adam West Batman.
Yeah. But yeah, even the names are so tacky, but I feel like it works so well in this section.
A plotline so hackney, not even Stan Lee would come up with it.
Yeah.
I was half expecting Stan Lee to like be in one of those bags and be like, "Hey."
Actually, that wouldn't be a bad bit.
Yeah, Matt Groening was. There's a nice little tie in there.
Yeah.
Lucy Lawless overpowers the Collector and rescues Stretch Dude and Clubber Girl, and they fly off into the sunset. Except
Xena can't fly.
I told you, I'm not Xena. I'm Lucy Lawless.
Yep.
And they just like shrug like, "Oh, okay."
Okay. Oh, that explains everything.
it's such a good bit. I can't even start dissecting how funny this is.
Right. I'll just quickly dive into a quick falls into loose at best death ever.
Ooh, yeah, Battlestar Galactica. He's talking about the original OG series, right?
Lorne Green, yeah. So, not a reference I get.
So that's all I've got to say about that section. It was fantastic. If I'd have to rank it now, it'd be a cubic zirconia.
Really?
Wow.
I think I popped a silver on that.
Silver? Not even gold?
I think I had that one as a silver as well. I'll be really honest. Like it's good. I think it's less Halloweeny.
Yeah, it's a fun adventure. I feel like it maybe lacks in jokes and it lacks in a Halloween feel, but it is a quick little fun adventure. So I do like it for what it is.
Fair enough. All right, and for the last segment this evening, and unfortunately what I consider to be the weakest of the three of this episode, Life's a Glitch and Then You Die. What'd you think of this segment, guys?
A little more poignant when it was released, obviously, with the Y2K.
Y2Ks and all. Much like the Kang and Kodo segment of the last one being a bit more poignant around the time of the Iraq War.
Yeah. Y2K was such a stupid thing that everyone was also quite scared about because it was such an unknown. It's going to be one of those things that kids are going to ask about. I'm going to be like, oh, we kind of thought the world was going to end because of computer dates.
Yeah, we thought planes might fall out of the sky, literally, and blah, 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 blah.
And blenders would turn on us. And
oh my god, the waffle lion.
Just quickly, I love the animation on the waffle lion. It's beautiful. The batter stuck to it like as a dripping jaw. I love that.
Exactly. Yeah, so they're doing a whole, Y2K 1999 bit. Apparently Homer was the Y2K compliance officer for the nuclear power plant.
And I did love his line of, Lisa goes, Dad, but if even one system is out, they could all crash. He's like, that can't be true, Lisa. If it was true, I'd be terrified.
Yeah, a jerk-ass dismissive Homer, but I liked it.
Hey, question, who's Robert Urich?
Oh, is he one of the ones in the plane at the end?
No, it's like, I feel like something Robert Urich. In one of the, I cannot remember. I just wrote it down. I just wrote literally, who's Robert Urich?
Well, we'll get back to that one, but the bit I liked at the start where they're watching like the New Year's Eve celebrations on TV, and there's this band playing, and he's like, "Where was? It says here we're at. I thought we were Quiet Riot." I fucking love this joke because I'm not the biggest fan of like that sort of 80s rock, and all these bands blend into one for me. So this one felt great.
Yeah, Robert Urich is an actor who's in stuff.
Okay, cool.
None of it looks... All I know is he's in a movie called Ice Pirates, but it's using the same font as Indiana Jones. So I feel like he's in those kinds of movies.
Okay, cool.
He was in The Love Boat from 98 to 99. He's in stuff.
Love Boat went to 99?
They rebooted it, I believe.
Oh, yeah, that's right. At some point, Dixie brand mayo gets brought up. I forgot why, but I was like, mayonnaise.
Unintended theme.
Unintended theme.
Condiments.
And in the Y2K television show, Rick James is playing Super Freak and gets arrested. Oh, what did I do now?
That was great.
Yeah, but, I mean, rest in peace, Rick James, you super freak.
Super freak guy.
And yeah, I love when 1999 takes over to 2000, Y2K hits, and Dick Clark melts.
Yeah, some bit of cyborg racism
there. An issue close to your heart.
CPU.
CPU to you too.
Caffeine fusion core.
And then once they're doing the montage sweep throughout the crowd and they're playing this like layered spooky version of Auld Lang Syne.
But it's like subtly spooky. It's that if you pay attention you can see it's a little bit dissonant, but just by itself you just know. I really like that. I wrote that down as well.
I figured out where it's from. It's the bit just before that where like Grandpa's on the couch and like, then again we had 2 shows with Andy Griffith, and he goes, and 11 with Robert Urich. That's where I was like, who's Robert Urich?
He's in stuff.
There you go.
I'm
gonna cross that off. Never need to know that again.
But the Auld Lang Syne thing, that just felt really good to me.
Yeah, really nice piece of production there. So.
And in the church, Reverend Lovejoy is delivering his apocalypse speech. Yeah. It was a weird bit, but he was like saying, all these kids with their boob tubes and beetle boots.
Yeah.
He says like a parallel of miniskirts. He's like,
But beetle boots. And I was like, I didn't realize that that's what they were like literally called, because I had a pair.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I think they broke eventually. But
is that why you're a hellspawn?
Yeah, now I'm
beetle boots.
I went to hell for your boot choices.
That's not why I'm going to hell, but I mean, it hasn't helped.
All the sins.
Yeah.
I do like it. Hey, everyone, they're looting the mall.
Yeah.
I love Homer's like, but I was going to loot you a present.
And I love that.
Did he say a present or a ped egg?
I'm pretty sure he said president.
Oh, I thought
President, because he ends up getting her the Lady Remington.
Yeah.
Which turns on her.
Yeah.
That was great. I love the animation of it latching onto her neck, and then like she bats it off, and then it like mows part of the lawn.
Yeah.
And then they bump into Krusty, whose pacemaker is set to Hummingbird.
That is such a fantastic joke to me. And Krusty's like, nectar, need more nectar.
Need my body weight in nectar.
Yeah, but then
That's so silly.
they find on him the invitation to board the rocket ship.
Yeah.
The rocket ship. I just want to jump back before Lisa going, all the wonders of the 20th century come back to haunt us.
Wonders, Lisa, or blunders?
I think that was implied.
Implied or implode?
Mom, make him stop. I just love the line of Mom, make him stop.
And which kind of gets called back later when it's the, okay, Lisa, and it's very difficult, but you can choose one parent.
Mum.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. So they get the ticket to board the spaceship. Lisa turns out she was invited all along.
She was the ship's proofreader.
I know, I do like that. Well, we'll need proofreading, Lisa Simpson.
But I don't think it was unreasonable that they'd missed the invitation so
yeah,
much.
true. It's pretty simple to say Homer did something stupid with it.
Or that, they'd been out watching all the looting and the rioting and whatever.
Yeah. What does Homer try and say his name is?
The piano genius from the movie Shine.
Shiny McShine. Right. So yeah, Lisa chooses to take Marge onto the flight, leaving Bart and Homer to go take the B-grade people's flight.
Yeah, there's no one guarding it.
Yeah.
I love that the rocket is just like, because the other one is the special rocket is like nice and white with like red fins, and the other one is just plain grey, like not even bothered.
I think the other one's red, white, and blue.
Yeah, you might be right actually. And the other one is just plain, because it's like, well, fuck it, it's going into the sun anyway. So what does it matter if we paint it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just like there's a government order in the event of an apocalypse, kill these people.
Like they could have just left them on Earth.
Yeah, could have been fine.
With all the bombs going off.
Nope.
We need to guarantee.
There is no way we can have no chance that Rosie O'Donnell survives.
So yeah, Homer and Bart are looking around on the rocket ship. He sees Ross Perot, Courtney Love, Pauly Shore. But I felt like it hit critical mass by the time they go, oh my God, Rosie O'Donnell. I feel like that was the one that was too much.
Yeah, I was about to say that for some reason I was like, is that Roseanne? Why would they put Tom, what's his name?
Tom Arnold.
And Roseanne on the same rocket, you idiots.
It'll explode early.
Yeah.
Roseanne these days has gone off the deep end, but I stand by Roseanne the sitcom. That was some amazing television.
I have not seen it for many years, but I remember it being pretty good. So, except for the last season.
Yeah, fuck that last season. Yeah, featuring Tom Arnold as himself. I thought he did a great job of being self-deprecating.
Oh, really? I didn't know it was him. That's cool.
Really him. I thought it was actually Pauly Shore as well, but it wasn't.
No, I think a Pauly Shore is easy enough for most actors to do an impersonation of.
Yeah.
Gonna whack a my tannage, buddy.
But given around this time as well, he did that Futurama appearance, and that was very self-deprecating in a very similar way.
Yeah, true. So it definitely wasn't out of the question.
Yeah.
Impressed that it's Tom Arnold. Good for him. Have a bit of a dig.
And I love the animation of him eating the can of peaches.
I know. It's so desperate. I was like his line of, I know my shows weren't any good, but never forced anyone to watch them, which I could because I'm a big guy and I'm good with nuts.
Remember what we said before about me not liking The Nanny? That's what was happening.
Yeah, and I'm still furious someone put a gun to your head and forced you to do it. That's ridiculous.
So Bart and Homer ejecting themselves out of the spaceship. I loved that. Their
head
peaceful
inflate
look.
and explode.
But their peaceful look is that happening.
Not even peaceful. It's like just like relief almost.
Pure
They're like, the sweet embrace of death.
Yeah, what's your line about relief, Beach?
Really, true happiness is simply relief.
Yeah.
Which, if you don't believe that, drink a lot of water and then don't pee for a while, and then wait till you pee, and you'll be like, "This is the best thing ever."
Mm-hmm.
Literally, just a bit of food stuck in your teeth, getting that out finally.
Oh, you know what? My favorite of that, the outside of a popcorn seed that gets stuck when you're eating popcorn, and it's the hard outer shell rim bit,
and it's just like
wrapped
around the tooth,
and it's like in your gum kind of thing.
And then you finally get
it out, and it's like,
it's time for the spooky question.
That's my fear gas.
Play count. How many times do you think you've seen Treehouse 10?
Odd 6.
6, really?
Odd 6.
Odd 6.
I don't know. I'm saying numbers. No one's writing this down.
Baker's half dozen? Never gonna stop saying that.
500.
Baker's Score, I'm going to say.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'd say I've seen this about 4 score. It's one of my favorite Treehouse of Horrors, actually. Sticks up there for me. How did this work as horrors?
First segment for sure.
Yeah, second
absolutely.
segment.
Not as much.
I guess it was, like you said before, more of a Batman 66 thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the last one I felt like was just more of a comment on Y2K, which I thought worked well and like
is a little more of a timely reference, but
yeah.
At the time this was such a big thing that it was a very cool thing to touch on.
Really feeding into the fear mongering that a lot of people kind of tapped into.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like Norton, I'm pretty sure had like, oh, make sure your computer is okay.
I was
with
about to
this
say,
disc.
do you remember the ads for Y2K OK?
Oh yeah.
Is it okay? What is that? Of course it's okay. Is it Y2K okay? Will it work okay after the 1st of the 1st, 2001? Oh my god, they made me want to slap everyone in the room.
But yeah, they did so many good things with that. The milk that was leaking and the Xerox machine that swallowed Nelson.
Yeah.
Like,
trapped him inside for some reason. I want to know what kind of futuristic milk will have a microchip in it.
It's the kind that knows when it's low and will email.
Okay. Like those really amazing LG fridges with internet that everyone has in their houses nowadays.
Oh yeah, in 2017, internet fridges, like they say, either your internet fridge or your not. Fuck off.
That's what they say, all right.
Yeah. That's what my drunk uncle says.
So the parodies, I thought they worked well for each of the segments, even though the last one wasn't a specific parody.
No, but it was playing on current fears and shit.
Yeah. I wonder if that bit, like with the intelligentsia, being selected to leave the world.
That's shown up in a few things,
Yeah.
It feels very Twilight Zone to me.
Yeah, I'm sure it's shown up in quite a few things, but specifics I couldn't tell you.
So ultimately, did it feel like a Treehouse of Horror?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Everything's fun and speculative and a little bit violent sometimes.
Yeah, I felt like the tension elements were a bit more apparent in this one than definitely the other two Treehouse of Horrors we've watched tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they were all structured properly. Again, the biggest problem I had with that first one is this, what if this? And then they never built a story around it. It was just, here's a thing we're doing.
So yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Cool. Me too. So let's rank this thing. BT, kick it off.
Oh, man. I am at a Gilver at the moment.
Gilver.
And I'm just deciding where that falls for me. Yeah, I ranked each individual gold, silver, silver.
Yep.
So that would overall silver it. I'm just wondering if maybe I'm being a little harsh.
Or if you can be nicer.
I can't be nicer. I can just be more honest. There's no...
You can just
look into your emotional core.
Silver.
And all your microchips. What do they say?
They say silver.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Don't push me, motherfucker. I'll fail this.
Oh, you want to get tough?
All right. Jordan?
I have to give it more than the previous one. So I'm kind of forced to give it a gold. Not that I don't think it's not worthy of a gold, but I was kind of like, oh, gold, silver, but I kind of want to distinguish that I liked it more
than the last one, yeah.
Than the previous episode. So I'm going to give it a gold.
You got to listen to the guts, though. Do the guts say silver for you?
Yeah, but then I would want to push the other one back to bronze.
Retroactive pushing.
Yeah.
Too late.
Yeah. So I'm gonna.
It's been written in pen.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, it's not cubic for me at all. It's kind of on that cusp of silver. So I think gold is fair enough.
Yep. I'm giving it gold as well. Honestly, it was on the cusp of cubic for me, but the problem for me is the last segment and the ending of the first segment. I wouldn't change a fucking thing about the second one.
Yep.
All right. Well, yeah, a dull gold. That actually feels right for that Treehouse of Horror to sit.
I concur.
All right. Well, happy Mayoween, everybody, and
happy Mayoween to you.
And that does it for the Simpsons Index, episode 44. Treehouse of Horror-thon Part 2 is in the books.
Whee!
Yes.
And that has been Jordan Frost.
Goodbye.
That has been BT Calloway.
We did this, didn't we?
And that's been Sheridan Morley.
Good night, everybody.
And I'm your host, Elliot J. O'Neill, reminding you that that is all the mustard in the house. Thank you for checking out the Simpsons Index podcast. Don't forget to go to www.thesimpsonsindex.com for the spreadsheet and information about upcoming episodes.
And for today's extra content,
Bunnings snags flavored condoms.
Are you bi-curious but constrained by the restrictions of your religious family?
What the fuck is that?
New vagina-flavored condoms.
I was going to say, why isn't it dick-flavored condoms? And like, why do you need a condom then? You just taste the dick.
And now for men, dick-flavored dental dams.
It would be like, do you need the protection of a condom? Miss that genuine flavor of cock. Dick-flavored condoms.
Oh, God.
Taste the dick. Are you recording this?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah,
Are the
I
bats
agree,
free?
squeaky car.
Probably the people coming out from the comedy show. What the fuck is that?
Are they bats?
Is this a comedy show for bats?
So I was eating some fruit upside down the other day. You know what happened? I got it all over my face. Well, what are you going to do?
And I peed on my own head. Can he say that?
I come home, the wife's all like, what have you been out all day?
Two bats come out. They're really hungry. One comes back to the cave. It's got blood all over his face. He goes, where'd you get that blood? I'll show you. He takes him out. He goes, you see that tree? He goes, yeah, I didn't.
Little bat comedy there for you.
Yeah, that's a Rowan Batkinson routine, isn't it?
Oh, wow. Elements of horror there, and it was well thought out genre-wise, I think.
Yeah.
I was going to say that the
Oh,
the elements of
Get my notes together. Get your shit together, Elliot. Just fucking
put it in a knapsack. Get it together.
my nap snack. Fuck. Get your shit together,
Get it
Elliot.
together.
did you say nap snack?
Yes.
That sounds like you could market that.
Yeah.
Nap snack.
Without context, if someone asked me if I wanted a nap snack, yeah.
That passes
Damn
the
right.
hangover test.
I feel like it would be.
They give you a biscuit and a lie down.
Yeah, I feel like it would be like
Oh.
peanut, like cookies with a little thing of peanut butter.
Oh, yeah. And then you take a little nap.
Oh, I want
Or
that
just
right
after you
now.
wake up. Just after you wake
4
up.
nap snacks, please.
Oh, I wish I was eating that yodel.
So good.
I want a hamburger and milk duds and... See, I don't impersonate Trump. I impersonate the bad lip reading guy doing Trump.
And we will open a bar, and we will call the bar Brown Lady, and it'll be a bar with things, and the bar with stuff.
I can't believe how well you guys remember the bad lip reading. Because part of it is for me, I never remember what they say because it's so ridiculous.
Yeah.
And,
When
like,
you want to make a bad day a greater day, go to Brown Lady.
Hadouken. Hadouken to your face.
Yes. Are you wearing a big boy shirt?
Yeah.
Yep.
I might never again.
Not never again.
All right,
That was a zinger. I need you to scrape my bunions. Yes, good.
I win.
Back to the Jetta. Pretty dorky.
You don't drive, do you?
You suck.
¿Por qué no los dos? Why choose tits and or ass?
I'm never
when you
going to
can have
rank
both?
this thing.
This scary old El Paso.
¿Por qué no los dos?
Los dos.
I'm Daddy Trey. Ooh.
I like old El Paso tacos. Burritos.
Stand and starve.
Nah, it's like when we were in the States, we went into Hot Topic, and that was literally Tumblr the shop.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm pretty sure I'll give it a silver.
When you said I'm pretty, that's so shiz.
I'm pretty. Suddenly topless and fat. The Sheridan Morley story.
You are casted in the biopic, sir.
No, it was around about the 1980 something when I was born to an impoverished family. Round about Glebe or something.
Glebe. Back in ancient Glebe.
Scholars think it may have been 1989.
So, Sheridan, what are you going to rank this episode?
Silver.
Awesome.
Hi-ho,
You can go back
Silver.
to sleep now.